둘 다 40.
2, 3, 4.
오른쪽 조심.
좀 꺼진다, 안 꺼져.
Anti guys, anti. I bet it's strong enough for this mid guy.
남의 A맨이야.
参加めてる。こう。いや、マイコ。ワイヤー注意していくよ。俺 CT 戻るね。下で3でいって。
ê, đưa đâu.
いや、関係ない。
못가요.
ช่วยอยู่
贴到นะ
แค่เบรกให้พี่ทีมเยอะๆพอเพื่อนตอนเนี้ยมันมีเวลาอยู่ไว้
行ってちょっと来て。これ。いけるよ。これスキルないもん。ナイス。
ไม่ใช่อ่ะเอ็มเอส3เดี๋ยวแรกกับทีมเวทอพีส3 ตัวแล้วเปิดประตูมาหน้าหมดเลย
あいつディレイある早めにタップして。
はい、ダブする。お願い。ダブシャ。
Last player standing.
返す。ナイス。
ตายแล้วปะ
ยังไม่ขึ้น
ตายแล้ว
เดี๋ยวมาเนี่ยこれ
ガーオス。
はい
กระดาษ
リコン온다.
에이 먹게 일단 이건 안 썼어 얘들아
ไอ้กูไม่อีกไง
좀 챔버 A 루
No, I don't think Chamberlain. No. Shoot nothing. Just go A guys. It's okay.
아직 안 온다 이거 A 판거 같아 A롱 일단 안 찍혀 오케이 내 프로롱 A 그 챔버 시드
그래도 보싱 레디 보이. Let's go 데노.
A 뛴다. 조용.
사이트
없어.
그냥 채우자 반대 가자
guys let's take we have to go back to the neon
오케이 굿 let's go back just go big 돌린다
let's go you take just keep run out
백사이드. 온다.
나 시각게 일단
T3 빙고 깜찍
let's go 플레이 윈도우 하나 윈도우 아 이렇게 가면 한번 찍어봐 이제 서쪽 얘들아
아군이 한명
아,
남았습니다.
왼쪽 둘이었어 그러지 가요 마칭 3 2 1
Last player standing.
게임이 쉽잖아 그냥. 우리 한 자리 왔어? 왔어. 왔어.
A 첫 탄포. 포개리 컷.
시 바닥 쓰는 거야
나왔다 야 사이트 여기
걸리자.
핑 하나 있어 여기 젖은 거 같아 여기 젖은 거 같아 칼질 조심해라 얘들아
스킬 까줘 스킬. 프라.
놈들을 쓰러뜨려.
파랗게 봐줘. 시트 오파야.
인코스 조심 인코스
침착하게.
메인들
야 오멘 피해
3명 처치. 적군이 한명 남았습니다.
스틸. 왼쪽 갈게.
에이,
오이
너희들의
야 에이스 언제 했어 Electo saying first ah
얍.
2B맨 let's go first okay
들고 시기기
4
나이스 용. 남았습니다.
나이스 원
Entering part of the board.
Last player
135
standing.
1 HP 에츠바리아 셀바님
My God. F20반이. 그래도 조심 이러면.
저번 오프닝 하자
나이스. 야 바로 앞에.
야 네온 혼자 안돼 빨리 길게
던졌어 바로
얼릴게
나도 안 좋게 이거 야 5대3 얘들아.
그렇지
아 제대로 펄 주고. 시티.
컷 LP
오늘 좋은데?
형이다 형
ただ単に月光が好きだったから適当です
I'm the mystery guy.
저는 레몬 러버고요 제가 악어고요
I don't know. I just cannot win against Fnatic twice already last year, so I think that was my worst experience.
アセンションバンコク行ってたんですけど、その時にちょっとタイ料理がなんかちょっと癖強めで印象が強くて、それで海外行くってなったらその食べ物が合わないとかは結構あるかなと思って、それで選びましたね、食べ物の話題を。
정답을 쉽게 말해줄 것 같아서 이렇게 쉽게 말해버리면 왠지 게임이 금방 끝나버릴 것 같으니까, 그래서 제가 대신 임포스터 역할이라는 걸 좀 해왔던 것 같습니다.
Demon 1 shuts it down! The man is dangerous no matter what!
嘘つくしかないなと思ってとりあえず嘘つきました。でもそこが結構怪しかったかなって思います、自分でも。
I just put like European countries, so they have to guess. Paris is like city of love, right? So I just put love, love.
소세지를 못 찾았기 때문에 스테이크를 넣었습니다. 여기서 또 대놓고 얘기하면 재미없을 것 같아서 또 임포스터 역할 하려고 그냥 6시간 비행했다고 거짓말 쳤던 것 같습니다.
I just put it 10 hour plus because all the journey that I've had going into like event is always so long, and I hope this year I'm able to travel like just like a short time, you know. If you go to Shanghai, it's like only 2 hours.
多分アジアから中国行くのはそんなに時間かかんないから、とりあえず6、7、8時間くらいって言っておきました。
아이슬란드가 좀 더 길었던 것 같아가지고 정확한 시간은 기억나지 않지만 뭐 제일 길어가지고 골랐었습니다. 거기 갔던 라면집이 있어요. 거기를 갔었는데 되게 맛있어가지고 기억나서 이제 말했던 거고.
그냥 제 아니었는데요.
Who's an alligator? Who? You?
Not me, not me, not me.
Who is the most fit? 아.
일단 저는 게임 자체를 너무 재밌게 했던 것 같고요. 저는 토론을 안 하고 진지하게 찾아보려고 노력했는데 다른 팀원들이 저를 도와주지 않았던 것 같아요.
まさか自分がそのインポスター側だと思ってなくてちょっと緊張しつつも、結構いい感じに騙せたんじゃないかなって思います。楽しかったです。
At first, I thought he's lemon lover because he's so quiet. Second, I thought he's alligator because why would you eat ramen in Iceland? Like, where can you find ramen in Iceland? And then the last one is just moshpit because the answer is too basic.
채팅을 했을 때 모시핏이 너무 임포스터인 것 같은 거예요. 그래서 어떻게 하면 도와줄 수 있을까를 좀 많이 고민했던 것 같습니다.
저는 시작할 때는 살짝 몰랐는데 이제 말하고 나서 알리가토르랑 미스테리가 되게 익숙한 말투가 들리는 거예요. 한국 선수인 건 대충 감을 찾았고 나머지 두 선수는 이 둘 중에 임포스터겠는데? 라고 생각했던 것 같아요.
저는 요즘 세계대회 나갔을 때 여러 음식 즐기는 걸 좋아해서 베트남 가면 또 맛있는 거 먹을 수 있겠구나 생각하고 있습니다.
현지의 쌀국수 집도 한번 방문해보고 싶고 만약에 거기서 이제 현지인분이 저를 알아보신다면 만약에 제가 한번 쏘겠습니다.
Vietnam has been one of the countries that I want to visit lately. It's Crazy Guy's home ground as well. So I really want to make it to Vietnam and feel the crowd finally cheering for us.
ベトナム人生で一回も行ったことないんで本当に行きたいしみんなで行けるように頑張ります。これからも応援お願いします。
호치민 베트남 이제 결승전에 가게 되면 정말 좋을 것 같은데 만약에 가게 되면 신차오 이제 베트남어로 안녕하세요 하면서 제가 외치러 다니겠습니다.
Thank you for watching.
This is VCT Pacific 2026. Earn everything. This is VCT Pacific 2026. Earn everything.
You are my hero in the night, North Star in the sky, shining bright. And this line, we walk side by side, young hearts beating wild. You pull me up when I can feel my feet sink, and all my worst fears disappear again.
Every morning with a glow on my face, the life of the party, I'm magic.
Hi guys, hello.
Hello.
Oh, what are you guys doing? Okay, good to see you. Hi Stax, hi Carpe. Well, you are playing against Zeta Division today, right? Well, Stax, you guys already secured your spot in the playoffs. What is T1 thinking right now going into this match?
1시드로 가는 게 중요하다고 생각하고 있습니다.
Oh, it's important to keep the first seat open. Okay, well, you know, Stax, we saw the beginning of 2026 a little bit shaky for you, but you managed to turn that around. Well, and even your friend Zest said he was disappointed to see one kill Stax. Now is the time to clear the air and defend yourself.
적응 단계였기 때문에 충분히 그럴 수 있었다고 생각을 합니다.
Any words to Zest?
은퇴했잖아.
Well, he said that was the adapting period and things can happen. And I asked any words to Zest, and he said, well, you're retired, right? Okay. Well, Carpe, you are with the team as the playing coach. Well, who is the tricky one? Who's the naughty one on the team?
요즘 5명 다 폼이 너무 좋아서 5명 다 문제입니다.
I would say I can't choose. All 5 of them are outstandingly naughty. Well, thank you, Carpe and Stax, and best of luck to you. I'll let you hash it out off camera. Okay, bye-bye.
Welcome to another day here on VCT Pacific. We had a full day yesterday, 6 maps, multiple overtimes, emotional roller coasters, and we are ready for more Mika Fabs here on the desk with Pilski, and we have KDG from T1 joining us, as well as Bella to help with some translation. Thank you so much for taking time to chat with us before today's match. Now, I want to ask, because T1, they're looking so good. You guys are looking so good. No map loss so far. So I'm wondering, as a coach, do you feel pressure to sort of keep up this record? How are you feeling? Does it make you feel nervous that maybe your luck will run out or something?
너무 완벽한 경기력을 보여주고 있는 T1이잖아요. 근데 이제 이 완벽한 스코어가 오히려 지금 부담감으로 좀 다가오고 있는지 좀 어떻게 느끼시는지 궁금합니다.
저는 오히려 부담감보다는 반대편 조에 가서 했었으면은 어땠을까라는 호기심이 생기는 것 같아요.
It's not pressure at all. Actually, it gets me thinking, like, what if I was the opponent and what it would feel like on the other side? I'm curious to see how that would feel like for them.
I'm pretty sure all of T1's opponents are kind of shaking and sweating a little bit as they walk onto that stage, especially with how good the team has been looking this stage. Now, I'm curious because obviously we've seen T1 a lot on Pearl, and teams keep picking this map into T1. So what is your reaction whenever the teams, pick Pearl against you guys, and your record so far? You guys have been looking so good on this map.
펄을 워낙 잘하는 T1이잖아요. 근데 T1을 상대로 이제 상대 팀들이 계속해서 펄을 고르고 있는데 그거에 대해서는 좀 어떻게 느끼고 계시는지 궁금합니다.
사실 저희는 다른 팀들이 킥오프 때부터 펄을 계속 배운해왔기 때문에 저희한테는 사실 펄을 많이 보여줄 기회가 없었다라고 생각을 하거든요. 근데도 상대 팀들이 저희를 약간 좀 좋게 생각해줘서 펄을 배난 것 같은데, 사실 스테이지 1부터는 많은 팀들이 저에게 약간 도전장을 내밀어서 저희가 좀 많이 응징해줘서 저는 약간 좀 기분이 좋은 것 같아요. 선수들한테 고마워요.
I mean, like, I think a lot of the teams, they've been avoiding Pearl since kickoff because, it wasn't really our choice. It was more on, like, their choice. And starting from stage 1, I think they thought that, like, we probably wouldn't be as prepared, and they picked Pearl for us. And I think we got a chance to show them how strong our Pearl was. And I'm actually thankful for the players for stepping it up and showing that they're capable of that.
Yeah, I wanted to ask what it's been like to coach a team full of players that are kind of big names. Is there any friction or challenges there? Do they always listen to you, or what is that like for you?
이제 워낙 네임드 선수가 많은 T1 로스터잖아요. 근데 그런 5명의 선수들을 데리고 이렇게 코칭 감독님으로서의 또 일은 또 다를 것 같은데 좀 어떻게 체감하고 계시는지 누가 말을 잘 듣고 이렇게 단합은 잘 되는지 세세하게 좀 들어보고 싶습니다.
저희가 단합이 잘 되는 팀이라고 저는 아직까지는 좀 부족하다고 생각하긴 하는데요. 저희는 그게 저희의 장점이라고 생각을 하거든요. 왜냐면은 각자 다른 방식으로 이제 발로란트를 배우고 그다음 플레이해왔던 선수들이 다른 팀에서 모여서 저희 팀으로 다 온 거기 때문에 저희가 오히려 다양한 색깔을 가질 수 있는 게 약간 저희 팀의 장점이라고 생각을 하고 있습니다.
I think the fact that I wouldn't say like being unity, all in sync would be our forte, but I think that actually the fact that we aren't as in sync is actually works to our advantage because you know these players, all 5 of them, they come from different teams and they learn to play their own game of Valorant, and coming into one team and showing up that they can pull their own game in 5 different ways, that actually adds more color to us and that defines us as a team.
That kind of touches on like what I wanted to ask next, which was how does the calling structure work in T1? Do Stacks and Munchkin kind of hybrid call in the early mid-round? Do the individual players make their own plays and calls? And does that ever get messy and end up in situations where, things get a bit complicated?
네, 그러면은 그 팀 내에서 콜은 좀 어떻게 이루어지는지 들어보고 싶은데요. 뭐 스택스 선수랑 먼치킨 선수가 초반에는 같이 콜을 하면서 다른 팀원들도 이야기를 하는지 사실 목소리가 많다 보면 좀 번잡해지기 쉬운데 어떤 식으로 운영되는지 궁금합니다.
일단은 전체적인 방향은 당연히 그 먼치킨 선수 아이젤이 제일 통제권을 크게 가지고 있는 게 사실 맞고요. 그 다음에 나중에 좀 그 방향을 틀어야 되거나 플랜 A를 플랜 B나 C로 바꿔야 되는 상황에서는 사실 다른 선수들의 콜도 중요하기 때문에 거기서 사실 스택스 선수가 많은 역할을 해주고 있습니다 현재.
So obviously the final say, IGL Munchkin has the final say when it comes to calls, but when it comes to shifting our plans, moving from A to B to C, Stacks actually helps in a lot and like adds more onto the calls.
Wow, that's interesting because you have so much brain power on this team. But I wanted to ask about Munchkin because so many coaches, if you remember our content, the timeout piece, everybody has been saying Munchkin is one of the best, if not the best IGL that we have here in Pacific. As his coach, what do you see him do that no other player is able to do?
네, 베스트 IGL로 꼽히는 먼치킨 선수라고 이제 다른 팀 감독들도 많이 이야기를 해주시고 계신데, 근데 그 먼치킨을 이렇게 그 팀을 운영하는 감독님이시잖아요. 감독님 시선에서는 먼치킨 선수의 가장 큰 강점이 뭘까요?
일단은 먼치킨 선수가 아마도 상대 팀들이 상대하기에 그러니까 먼치킨 선수를 상대하기에 가장 까다로운 IGL이라고 생각을 하고요. 그 다음에 만약이 아니죠. 먼치킨 선수의 약간 단점 혹은 약점이라고 할 부분은 오히려 먼치킨 선수가 다양한 방법, 그다음 IGL을 소화하다 보니까 같은 팀 선수들의 소화 능력 혹은 그 상황에 맞는 플레이들이 안 이루어지면은 그게 또 약점이 될 수도 있다고 생각을 해서 강점이자 저는 약점인 것 같기도 합니다.
It's honestly a double-edged sword when it comes to Munchkin because he is so talented, he's so creative when it comes to running his game, and he is definitely a pain to the other opponents because of the way he runs his game plan during the matches, right? But it's a double-edged sword because it works the same for his teammates as well because he's very creative, because he likes to try new things mid-game. It's a matter of how far the teammates can actually keep up with his game plan.
They need to be adaptable.
That's interesting.
Kind of be flexible to what he wants to do. I mean, the other thing that I want to ask is we've heard in a lot of interviews from Stacks, for example, and even some other players on T1 that he either doesn't think the team is at 100% or even qualifying to international, you're not playing at your top ceiling. So I wanted to ask, what does T1 work on? Like, what are you working on as a coach, as well as what some of the other coaches work on? Because a lot of Korean teams have a big coaching staff. So what's kind of the specialty or the focus for yourself, but as well as maybe touch on what some of the other coaches are doing in the team?
이제 스택스 선수도 그렇고 뭔가 T1 선수들은 자기네들의 100%가 아직 안 보여줬다라고 이야기를 많이 해주고 있거든요.
네.
근데 감독님은 100%가 언제쯤 올 거라고 생각을 하시는지, 그리고 이제 감독님 제외하고 다른 코치분들도 함께 하고 계시잖아요. 다른 코치분들은 어떤 식으로 팀 운영에 도움을 주고 계신지 들어보고 싶습니다.
일단은 100%가 되려면은 제 생각에는 챔피언스 거의 막바지 정도는 돼야 될 거라고 저는 생각을 합니다. 왜냐면은 각자 이제 예를 들면 먼치키 선수가 젠지 시절 때부터 해왔던 그런 플레이들이나 아니면은 뭐 버즈 선수나 뭐 섹스 선수가 DRX에서 게임을 배워왔던 방식 자체가 아예 상반되게 다르기 때문에 그 방식을 지금 저희는 하나로 최대한 같은 생각을 하게끔 노력하고 있거든요. 그래서 그 부분에서 필요한 콜들 혹은 생각, 디테일들을 이제 코칭 스태프분들이 도와주고 계시고 그 다음에 선수들도 그거를 적응하려고 노력은 하고 있지만 저는 좀 시간이 필요하다고 생각을 해서 저는 길게 봐서는 시즌 말 정도가 될 것 같다라고 생각을 하고 있습니다.
For the 100% to happen, it could happen this year. I'm, just saying maybe till the end of Champions because the way that Munchkin has played his game from his Gen G days and the way that Stax and Buzz have been playing their games while they were on DRX, we're actually going through the adapting period of trying to find the middle ground. And other coaching staff, they've been trying to help the players, and we've been working as a team to find the compromising ground. And we're actually working through that, sorting out the thoughts, the details when it comes to all the games, the macro and micro. So I think if I'm just to say it, maybe like end of the season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Possible.
I like that as a deadline. By the way,
we shall see.
Yeah. Before we send you off to the stage, I wanted to get your thoughts on Zeta on this match. Previously when we last saw this matchup, it was very memorable, of course. And I believe it happened, in the home ground. But what is it like stepping into this match for today?
네, 마지막으로 제타를 만났을 때가 T1 홈그라운드 때였는데 다시 한번 이렇게 데미지를 하게 된 오늘 경기 들어가기 전에 소감 한번 들어볼 수 있을까요?
일단은 제타 팀 같은 경우는 부담감을 많이 느끼면서 플레이를 해왔던 팀이고 그다음 본인분들 퍼포먼스에 대해서 항상 뭔가 걱정하거나 잘 안 되면 어떡하지 하면서 약간 그 압박감이 있는 상태로 항상 경기를 해왔다라고 생각을 하는데 이제 플레이오프가 제가 알기로는 떨어진 걸로 알고 있기 때문에 만약에 그런 부담감 없이 경기를 하고 그 다음에 제가 생각했을 때는 제타가 준비했던 것들이 이번 그 패치 이후부터는 바뀔 수도 있다라고 생각을 해서 그런 부분이 조금 걱정스럽긴 합니다.
Before when we faced Zeta in other stages and at Pacific, they always had so much pressure on them and they had to make up for their losses. But now, as far as I know, if I may say that, I don't think that they've made it to the playoffs. So right now they're dangerous because they don't have anything to lose and the pressure is off of them. So I guess I'm looking forward to what they have in store because what the games that they're running right now with the meta change, it could be drastically different. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
All right, and so are we. Thank you very much, KDG, for your time. Thank you, Bella. You can leave the headsets over here, and good luck out there.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. All right, we're going to welcome back Big Time to the desk as we take a look at our standings so far. We will be starting with Group Omega today, which, as KDG mentioned, it feels like it's pretty locked at this point. Although we will see how that plays out, in the matches to come. Group Alpha looking a lot more messy.
Yeah, there's a few contingencies, obviously, to sort out there in Group Alpha. Part of them will be resolved today by the game between Nongshim and Team Secret. But over there in Group Omega, a little bit more cut and dry. T1 with their game against Zeta Division, very much looking to secure themselves that top seed if they can do so. And they've only got a couple more games left in the group. I do believe they still have to play full sense, though.
Yes.
So a similar story to PRX over in Group Alpha. And for Zeta Division, I mean, I honestly, that series against PRX where they 2-0'd them lives rent-free in my head when they were already out of the group. So anything's possible. We say this all the time.
It's
a team has nothing to lose, but Zeta Division has already done this before. So I'm willing to reserve my expectations.
They are in that spot. They are, they are overdue for that kind of game, and it could be today. Who knows? I mean, KDG said he's still wary about Zeta, so that's something to look forward to. But another thing to look forward to, of course, is our finals over in Ho Chi Minh. We are getting closer and closer to flying out there and meeting all of you fans in Southeast Asia. I'm so excited to be able to go home to Southeast Asia as well. So please do get your tickets. They're going out really, really fast. I think it's only Friday and Saturday left. So please get going, guys. We want to see you guys. We want to see you guys. We want that Vietnamese coffee. We want that banh mi. We want that pho. All of that good food over in Ho Chi Minh. Now, of course, we have our build diff, and I'm not feeling too confident about today. It was kind of weird today to see like, okay, who do you think is popping off?
Yeah, I mean, some tough choices today. I think there's going to be a variety of different options. So, I mean, I'm feeling okay about my team.
Feeling okay?
We'll get to that. We'll get to
All
that.
right.
But it's not too bad.
I mean, I think we're calm, but I mean, everybody's trying hard, of course, because there is a Predator Helios Neo 16 at stake here. But, and of course, everybody's kind of like, all right, we got to try hard and not let Mika win, you know, the season that has no prize. But what is your roster looking like today?
Okay, let's talk through it. Right now, I'm just in second place. It's so close. So I'm going to try my best here, get some points on the board today. Starting off with Buzz. Gotta go with Buzz. I feel like he's the go-to guy for T1 right now. He's putting up those numbers. X-Ross, I think, has been pretty consistent for Nongshim. I want him in there. Sylvan for Team Secret, those big pop-off moments. Shota on that Sentinel. He's done me well before. And Izu, of course, in the flex. I got to have 2 T1 players today. Just know they're going to go crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that could be a quick game, though, so that's a little bit of a risky one. You've got to hope that Zeta is going to keep that nice and close. My roster, fairly similar, though, but we've gone in a slightly different direction in the middle of the pack. Buzz, I mean, he looks like one of the best duelists at the moment in Pacific. But I went with Kelly S. He's been very consistent. I think him and Sylvan, it's quite hard to pick between them, but I wanted an Enid player in that slot for Team Secret because I needed to have Ivy. Had to have Ivy. X-Ross very good as well, but looking at what Ivy did to Genji last week, I mean, you cannot pick this, cannot not pick this guy. I think Syuta's been pretty decent, and I think it's good that we're starting out Haven. Haven was one of his better maps as well the last time that Zeta played it, and he's going to be on that Senti role, so I'm hoping for a decent game from him today, but I'm also a little bit worried because Buzz is going to be running at him, and to round out the team, Izu, he's going to be on the chamber a little bit, I'm hoping, although Pearl is not in the map pool, or it might not be in the map pool this time around. I'm assuming, because if Zeta leaves it in again, that's going to be a crisis based on what happened the last time they played
That is going to be trouble indeed. I'm looking right now at the duelist slot because there are 2 eyes over there.
Some Zeus believers.
Wow. Okay.
I love it.
That's putting your money where your mouth is, honestly. I think you're really risking it on a rookie coming onto this stage.
It's paper thin and it's Vic. They kind of have some, some cushion, some padding over there. So they're probably just like, you know what? Why not?
I know Paper Thin's main goal in life right now is just do not lose to Achilles. He's all about making Achilles go in last place.
It's an admirable goal. I support him in that.
I respect it. The world is fueled by hate over here.
It is. We all hate each other over here. I wanted to force Francis, actually, in the initiator role. Just because I think he's gonna pop off, and I've been a little daring in like, how many duelists can we actually put in this roster? Let's make it rain. Why not? And then Mika's team does not pop off.
So you're a fan of the Francis Breach?
Yes, I'm a big fan of the Francis Breach. Why not?
You might be the only one.
Pilsky's gonna laugh at me later. Like, if I will laugh at you if he has on Breach and he just pop off.
Don't worry, my team's definitely better, but I'll still lose today.
I love how you've accepted the circumstances.
That's just built diff.
You've gone through all of the stages of grief, and you're just like, I'm
at
here.
acceptance.
I mean, I'm
Next is rage.
It's funny that I'm still in a little bit of denial over here, despite how much I've lost. But look at who is not losing so far here. It is T1, and this team, as we mentioned, talked to KDG earlier, this team is looking immaculate. They haven't lost a map yet.
Yeah, I think the whole narrative, at least talking to KDG in that interview, is one of seeking alignment. It's a lot of resources all funneled into trying to make this shared vision of all of these players that come from some of the most successful and storied rosters in Korean Valorant, try to align on a vision together, and it doesn't always come together that way, but regardless of that, the game styles are meshing, the individuals are popping, and T1 have not lost a map here in stage 1.
I mean, this is kind of what we expect from this team at this point. Everybody there lifted a Masters trophy. We know they can go all the way. They couldn't make it happen in Santiago, and that was a really big problem for them. And, we were asking how do they rebound after that, but they've done it in absolute perfect fashion.
I love how KDG mentioned how Munchkin, because of his style of IGLing, he is one of the only ones that is able to actually play with this kind of team that has such separate ways of playing. They're like 5 different stars or 5 different satellites orbiting around each other, and Munchkin's the only one to be able to rein them in.
Yeah, but I liked how he put it, where he said Munchkin is this player that
Double-edged sword.
they can't necessarily always adapt to him, and I think that there's a lot of IGLs like that where they demand certain things, or especially if they're very heavy mid-rounding IGLs, which it sounds like Stacks contributes heavily to that as well on that T1 system. It's not always easy for players, especially if they're used to being the star players in their teams or they're the big names, to actually conform and adapt to what's happening in the mid-round. It can be very difficult to make work sometimes.
Yeah, and one thing we just want to highlight here is in kickoff, his own individual performance was really not that sharp. He was not looking like the all-star pickup, and then in, Santiago, obviously everyone was a little bit hit and miss, and now stage 1, I do feel like he's slowly regaining that form that we would come to expect from Munchkin, because yes, he has a lot on his shoulders in that IGL role, but we also expect this man to frag.
Yeah, it's interesting that he hasn't got any reps on Viper this stage, and his numbers are actually higher, because that is definitely a signature agent of his. But some of his bigger games, I mean, honestly, all of his games have been pretty good, but his Astra on Pearl in particular has been impressing me, and T1 have
on that much, and for them now, they have their sights set on London. They have their sights set on redemption, and Zeta is just another hurdle in the way that they are looking to bulldoze through today.
Yeah, they've had some close maps thus far. They definitely want to secure this first seed coming out of the group, and part of that comes down to beating Zeta today, a team that has nothing to lose and everything to gain. Picking up a win against T1 would be the upset they're looking for, especially after the showing over at home ground.
Absolutely. Securing that first seed, securing that top spot, but against Zeta Division, it's been all uphill for this team. Still yet to get a win on the board, and while they've come close, while there have been moments of explosiveness from this team, it just feels like T1 is too good of an opponent. Can Zeta Division pull off a massive upset today?
Yeah, I think for Zeta, they showed initial promise. I think particularly their RRQ game was a winnable series for them, where they even completely outplayed RRQ and raised some serious question marks about them on the first map, and even through the rest of that series. So I think it really just comes down to which Zeta Division shows up today. Do you have the kind of Zeta Division that can blow a team like RRQ out of the water, or do you have the kind of Zeta Division that's going to struggle even against some of the other Japanese squads in this group?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to see them play for themselves today. This is a team with a lot of pride and a lot of fans. It's about doing them proud today, even if playoffs is out of contention. Prove to yourselves that you're good enough to hang with the best, and then you can regroup, come back strong for stage 2.
Yes, exactly. That regroup is also what I'm looking for, because Zeta have also mentioned that they always want to play to their strengths, but they seem to not be able to follow through all the way with it when it comes to these high-pressure matches, and when it comes to opponents that have the potential to just bulldoze over there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the problem is, if they lie down today, it will be a very, very fast game. We know the caliber of players that T1 has. I think now is the time to get a little bit tricky. You can get experimental. You can try and figure out the meta a little bit more, especially for a team that's been so Waylay reliant. For them, finding what comes next, get to be ready for stage 2 is so important.
I mean, there's no better practice than just going into officials against some of the best teams in Pacific, which by and large are the best teams in the world. So I think that this is going to be a good test for Zeta. We'll see if they're going to back themselves to try to be competitive with what usually works for them, or whether they will just throw everything out the window and try to adopt something special, something unique to them, that they might try to bring into that next stage to find a little bit more success than they have so far.
Yeah, for sure. And working on that team chemistry, working on everything that they have to do in order to get that win. I like the energy from Zeta as well. You know, they came in with a nice, strong cheer. That's usually a very good sign. Coming up with our agent comps right now. Oh, changes across the board.
Yeah. Look, I'll touch on T1. So we're seeing cool little changes there from Astra to Omen, and then from Sky to Sova. You know, I think they were expecting a Cypher to come out from Zeta Division. They didn't have a way to clear those traps before, but they can also abuse that verticality a little bit better with the Omen. But on the side of Zeta Division,
I mean, this is crazy. You've seen a little bit of Harbor played in various regions thus far, but looking at Killjoy, Harbor, Sky, I feel like they're almost bringing back like a vintage Loud comp at this point. You know, we used to see this kind of thing in Americas. A lot of Harbor ideas mixed in with the Sky flashes. The Killjoy was around and peaked better at that moment. We're also getting some role changes though. Eco is going off that secondary duelist to play Sky on the flashes. I want to see him be as aggressive as he was on the Waylay. XDL Senti,
and Tsuyota's the one to play the smokes here.
Yeah, I'm very curious. I think it's going to be quite retake heavy with this harbor. That is really what it excels at.
Well, let's see if it does work, if Zeta Division managed to unlock something with this, or if T1 will take this map once more. Over to our casters, Paperthin and Achilles.
Back again, and I'm already confused. Didn't take too long. Some puzzling
I'm supposed to be the confused one. I'm the old man.
That is true. Well,
Yeah.
We're confused for very different reasons.
Oh,
Yours
I
is
see.
hereditary, mine is just...
Hereditary?
I mean, I don't know. Could be. Anyway, let's dive into this one, because this
Sure.
is interesting. We've got Eco kind of pivoting back to his old role, his most played role, which is Initiator.
Yes.
But it's never really been Flash Initiator that he has been known for. It's a lot more Recon Sova than Fade.
Yes.
He's going for the Sky. They're going solo duelist with a Harbor.
Yeah. I mean, so the thing that does concern me a bit is just a brand new look here for Zeta, something they haven't, debuted on the stage. Last time we saw them, it was with the Waylay. But since the nerfs, they feel like they got to move away from that. Now, one thing I will say as well, talking about comfort, is Tsuyoda on the Omen. Actually, historically, if you go back into some of Tsuyoda's older days, he played a ton of controller, mostly Astra, but a lot of Omen too. So I think this actually could work a bit better for Zeta. We'll have to see.
My curiosity is just going to be, how does this harbor get piloted? The desk was talking about it. This feels like going back to an older comp from a different team, a different region, not really something that we kind of anticipate from Zeta Division. But they've been
surprised us. They've been waking up early to watch Americas. That's what I'm getting out of this, because a lot of harbor over there. So definitely, it can be really annoying here. You do have a lot of ability to cut off interesting parts of the map, even compared to like the Viper Toxic screen. But Izu just gonna dome Ego right off the rip.
Well, welcome back to Initiator.
因为他快死了吧？
Sorry, you're playing against Izu.
Yeah, a bit of a rough way to start it off.
变被两枪就死了。嗯，
The only thing that I do have concerns about is if you're going to be setting up these walls at Sugar Zero, Phoenix can kind of abuse them by just sending those curveballs through, peeking out. Izu still trying to scale forward. Gives himself a decent amount of space, but Sewers is occupied, and Absol is able to find 2 kills as Munchkin and Buzz. Both are going to be taken down. Meteor will be able to find 1 in reply. Gets a little bit of added damage onto Sugar Zero, but look at the health bars on T1. Izu at 20, Stacks at 19.
Let's see if they're going to be ready for this cheeky little push-up by XDL. Moving away from the Initiators, another player who's changed roles here for Zeta. Meteor checking, ready. Oh,
he finds him, but it takes a little while. Of course, can heal himself a bit with this Phoenix. And will be able to push forward onto the C site. Had that nano been available, would have just about gotten a double kill. But plant in play. 2 players alive. Shota it's still at full HP for Zeta. This is very winnable.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Stacks has 2 shock darts.
Right there.
But it probably won't even get a chance to use them.
Well, Meteor is going to be taking the first fight. Couple stack up, and Stacks looking to try to be the finisher here, but it's going to be Shota. Finding the second kill, but footsteps made. Izu knows exactly where he's at. Paranoia not going to be connecting onto him, and he's got the rendezvous set up, but can he get the shot? Yes, he can. Izu starts around, finishes it with 20 HP, and T1 barely scraped by with a pistol win.
Yeah, it's a bit labored for sure. But having that opening headshot with the headhunter,
这么高
a
明吗？
difference maker for sure. Let's take another look at it. Oh no! Oh, just the narrowest of angles. Absol off to a good start. That's an encouraging sign for Zeta when he's at his best. This is a scary roster.
Yeah.
He can do a lot of damage on that Neon. So, some things to kind of tip your cap on, with put your hat on. whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say right now. Hang your hat on. There's the one.
We both had a long day yesterday.
It was long.
Well, it's Buzz's turn. 3 quick kills for the Neon. We'll see if they can find any damage here in the eco round. Munchkin wants to say no.
Spike planted.
Let's see what Eagle can do. Zeta Classic in hand.
Yeah.
Buy the bundle.
Buy the bundle.
But, okay, we'll just be Meteor to find himself flawless in response to a very close pistol, but now we get Zeta into the buy.
Let's see if they can do a little bit of damage. Meteor already has his ult though. A little bit scary there in that regard.
有那么高明了吗？可以打那么准的吗？
Just play off that flash, and T1 would have pushed a little bit further down the hall, but
他脚那么高
nobody
明，
there,
他可
so
以打到的呢。
getting ripped to shreds by the Bulldog of Buzz. Into this next round we go. 3-man stack for T1, but that's all just
依然是2比0。
creative fakery here from Munchkin.
Izu just pushing past that one, but not going to continue scaling forward, so the trap's set up. Not going to be sprung, at least not yet. Depending on how long Absol wants to
为
stick
什么是
around.
拿
'Cause
奇
at
人
the
爆
moment,
头呢？好奇
slow
怪
drift
了，
back from that seaside. Looking to rejoin with Izu, much like we saw from the pistol.
这爆头有很好是吗？
Trailblazer, a little bit of movement. Hawk, I don't think connects with Izu either, so Zeta here going to be misreading. Well, but Absol's just better.
That he is. Izu completely caught unawares. It's picked apart, now it's a re-pivot back over to C. Shota scaling, looking for the catch. Does manage to readjust the Pine Meteor and gets Buzz as well. Now, Munchkin and Stacks try to see if they can scrape by with a bonus conversion. Stacks finding the first, but Munchkin now to fall. Swing in the back sight. Stacks not quite aligning here on a Sugar Zero, but eventually is able to find him. Full flash connecting. He gets taken low, gets taken down as Absol arrives. Zeta Division will deny the bonus conversion, but it's still 3 kills found for T1.
Yeah, really nicely read here by Zeta. Off a lot of negative information in terms of not connecting with a lot of the Sky util, but they still make a pretty good pivot over to the other side. It's a big win for Absol there. Really narrows the map down where they can really focus on B and Garage, where they were already leaning anyway. Kind of put themselves into good positions. They're able to convert.
Alarm bot out.
Can they snowball from here? Just racking up some round wins. Media, of course, does have the run it back available. Second ulti available. Shota does have the From the Shadows as well.
Yeah, they threw the alarm bots there.
Now, he does disrespect this, sprinting across it. Absol, however, will be able to shut this down very quickly. They know where the judge is at. Zeta Division very quickly get everybody into position as Munchkin's going to be caught trying to go for that TV bus. However, once again, finds himself a 3K. Zero eventually from behind the shutdown nearly has those players alive. Can only get the kill on a Meteor. Puts Izu down to 29 health. Iko with an opportunity. 1v2. Izu dialed in on the line. Takes the rendezvous out. Go over to plan position. Slowly, both players from T1 drift back into C long. Stacks double shock at the ready, and if it really gets down to it, has the Hunter's Fury as well.
Still some util here for Iko to use. Hasn't thrown any of it.
Well, it's Johnny on the spot with the first one. Second one flying, and now the Hunter's Fury is going to be sent as well. Iko able to dodge that out. He has it held to half, but the second pump will find the kill. Stacks to shut him down, and T1 to get a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, I need to see this from Buzz's perspective because I need a drop. He went crazy and won T1 this round.
Yeah, one fewer kill for Buzz. Certainly goes the other way. It's great awareness to sight.
That third was magnificent. Just be so ready for that re-aggression from the garage area. You know, they had seen Absol with the judge there earlier, and Buzz just instinctively knew. Really impressive. No Absol ult just yet, but did grab a Marshall. So if you can find a kill with that, he'll get the overdrive.
Gonna be peeking into the outlaw, though, and Izu, okay. More time to try to get up onto the box. Just get legged, put down to 65. Meanwhile, Absol's still gonna continue scaling forward. He's taking a very deep line.
Yeah. Not sure if he's gonna challenge this.
The swing at a hell of a lot more than that, but Iko, great shot with the Sheriff, finds Meteor, but Buzz, keeping up the pace, is able to find Sugar Zero. Fishing for a little bit more into the B site that is now evacuated by Zeta.
Zeta matching the rotations of T1 really nicely. Again, just having a good idea of how T1 wants to play the map off of some of that contact. Just gonna maybe have to force the issue at A if you can get Absol off that line.
Oh. Ends up being a warning shot, not quite able to find the punish. Absol still scaling forward, But Izu rereads it, says, hey, I gave up that A lobby space. Let me go check that. Getting ahead, something in the oven, but still is able to find the perfect time. But Shota finds one hell of a timing. Scales it from behind, 2 kills with the classic. Stacks was stuck in the drone. And now Izu 10 leads to a thrifty win for Zeta.
Wow. Thought this was going to be pretty smooth sailing there for T1, but they get a little tunneled at the front of the B site. And Shota just absolutely perfect.
I mean, great shot, you know, from Eco to be able to find that opener, but
yeah,
this really just comes down to Izu noting the second player in mid, but never thinking that there's going to be another one joining him. Shota was already out past his sight lines, so he's able to get this massive catch because Stacks is in the drone. He just can't respond fast enough. That is a fantastic catch for Zeta to find the second round, but we need to see some more steady wins.
Yes, and there's a bunch of scary ults here on this Eco for T1. You have the Tour de Force, you have the Overdrive. You have Munchkin with a Bucky and his ult, so a lot of creativity. They are going to at least wait out the Overdrive, I would suspect here. So Buzz won't get any value out of it.
Got themselves onto the correct site here as far as the lack of a stack is concerned. No lockdown to try to clear the way. You, of course, have that Reckoning available from Sugar Zero. And he is going to invest that, sending out the wave. Munchkin continues to just play forward. Overdrive now going to be popped blind out onto Izu. Has to take the TP. Buzz catching a glimpse onto one. Izu quick scope in. Is able to find Absol up close and personal. Swing in the corner. Gets himself a second. XDL dead. Stuck in his own slow there for a brief little moment. Sugar Zero will be able to find the kill. Slide in from Buzz. Nearly finds himself too, but it's going to be the shock dart lobbed in to clean up Eco. And it's a thrifty of their own for T1 to reply back.
I mean, Izu there, so steady on the site. Looks like maybe Sugar Zero's ult was going to be the difference maker. There's a fair amount of T1 players in there. Munchkin just trying to get the hell out, but can't find any value out of that Bucky. But this right here, so annoying. That smoke, the cove just a little bit maybe late from Sugar Zero. Not sure if it just wasn't in a cycle yet. That gave that second kill, that big important one, over into Izu. Right back at it. Now down to an Eco or Zeta, so this is a classic T1 match this year. Just trade Ecos for a while. It is just unbelievable how that just kind of keeps happening.
Had some very wild scenes yesterday. I don't think we're quite going to get into the same depths of chaos with our matches today, but you never know.
Oh, God.
It is Pacific, after all.
It is. I mean, I'd be fine with that. Yesterday was hella fun at the very least.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes, you know, frustrating. Sure.
But also amazing because it's frustrating? Yeah, we'll go with that. It's going to be the... Oh, what?
Spike down A.
I mean, just nothing set up to counteract that and no real eyes on it. That's going to have T1 scratching their heads a bit.
Yeah, that's pretty aggressive for Zeta. Probably is what's starting to catch them off guard here a little bit for T1. You know, they're getting through on some pretty big hero plays from some of their players, but
30 seconds
Zeta's
left.
doing a good job of working the map, to be honest. I mean,
And Absol could have a catch.
Yep, he should.
Well, Izu now starting to watch for it, and he's going to have his knife bounce up. Oh, okay. Give me a moment of pause, but we'll be able to find it very quickly. Gets it back into a 4v4, but Lockdown's going to be invested immediately. Playing with about 10 seconds to spare. This is going to have to be a full disconnected defense from T1. Seekers, however, not going for Izu.
Where is that Seeker going?
It's getting bonked on the wall. But Izu now allowed to push forward, go for this flank. Molly going to be layered in. Defuse held the half of Sugar Zero. Take it down. Swing in. Munchkin going to be noted, but here comes that second layer, and Izu now striking. Finding the first. Shota will fall Izu, cleaning up 3 in the round. T1 get a 3-round lead.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Zeta willing to take risks here today. You know, you're already out of playoffs. You might as well just go big or go home. So investing a couple huge ults on these Ecos. Go for the lockdown, go for the Seekers. Still can't quite convert. Meteor, really well thought out there. A lot of layers to this T1 post plant. The Cove as well, you know, in theory could be pretty nice here for Zeta in terms of being able to keep the guns, you know, stymied to at least get some defuses to half or something, which we have seen, but then it's just, you know, you've got shock darts, you got mollies. it can be pretty tricky to even kind of pull through long enough. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not too flummoxed with how Zeta's been playing, at least from a macro perspective. I think they're generally reading the map pretty well.
No, I would agree with that. I think, you know, I mean, a couple of these have really just come down to Izu gets 3, Buzz gets 3.
Yep.
You know, and even then, some of these rounds are close.
I agree.
I think main issue for them there was just, you know, the Seeker's going to be a bit of a roll of the dice as far as who they lock onto when you've got 3 Seekers and 4 players still alive. Doesn't end up going for Izu, so you note the TP, you don't note the flank.
Right, that's true. Well, let's see what they want to do now. It's going to be dueling ops. Absol, grab his. Izu as well. So, big battle coming up seemingly off the rip. We'll just have to see. Yeah, just a smoke, though. Going to back Absol off that angle. There was an early flash, but Absol was just a step behind it, so that wasn't really too bothersome for him. Deep smoke, though. Going to keep him checking. Seeing if they can get a quick peek around that corner. Pretty favorable angle for an op. Buzz,
Buzz went for another one.
Yeah.
Could have been him dead, but he's just posted up. I mean, if Absol continues to feel confident, he pushes forward, he's just going to be able to find Izu.
Yeah, if you could get Izu to use his rendezvous there.
You see, this is why Izu's checking back. He looks back in the lobby. He's anticipating that Absol's going to feel like he's got some space to scale. Seems like Absol's just as cognizant of this as Izu is. Now, not quite deep enough to really find damage, but does give them some pause. Pump the brakes, and well, Buzz able to find Shota out in the open. Pass lane, couple a connector, but Sugar Zero finding one hell of a timing. But Izu's patience ends up paying off. Now he can get onto an op line into this B site. Try to stop things from going awry, but Munchkin still holding forward. Checks over around the side. For a brief little moment, but still turns back to find XDL. Hot hands now. Chucked in. Go taking a tiny bit of damage. Does have some regen armor, but Izu again going for a flank. Great push out from Sugar Zero. Does find the kill. The defuse being stuck in Izu will just be able to run down Eco. But it's another round where Zeta gets so very close.
Teleport's ready. Yeah, and again, it kind of feels like it comes down to a couple contact fights around the map with Buzz and Izu, and they win it right here. If Shota's just got his crosshair a little bit further to his left, he might win that. Absolute no hope. He just picked a bad timing. I can't believe that Munchkin turned on that. I thought he was just going to get timing, but did not. And again, that extra layer of mollies there with the Phoenix. Don't need Meteor to necessarily just be in your face with those flashes. He can just play a little post plant, and it's working out really well for T1.
Meteor's still just playing Pac-Man, looking to get that next run back available. So 2 charges on the way.
Well, you do have the Harbor Alt again. So a reckoning there, a big tidal wave. Could be for retake. You're just leaving Eco on his own with that Sheriff. Not sure if Izu got a spot. He must have, or at least suspects.
I had the read on Absol previously, so could just be. His game sense is through the roof at the moment. The scoreline would reflect that. Looks like once again, T1 eyeing B site. Slow creep forward. Meanwhile, Zeta Division starting to assess that it's going to be an A hit, but smokes will now start to fly. As that does fall, Munchkin just going to TP up and over the top. Stack still scouting things out, and now can bring the spike forward.
Yeah, just a little bit of a gamble here from Zeta off that cove, thinking it would dissuade T1. They're just patient behind it.
How willing are you to commit ultimates into this again? Buzz is just pushing. Oh, never mind, screw it. They can't use the ult now. Eco with another nice shot. So they're going to try to find one of his own, but Munchkin gets the peek before the flash connects. Is able to find that kill. And now it is just Eco with 24 health as Meteor wants to try to just pound him down, get another charge before the ulti, and he shall. So lead going to be established, guaranteed at the half. T1 from here can just try to stretch it and balloon it up as much as possible.
Absolutely. they're pretty well in cruise control, and I feel like Munchkin now has a pretty good read on how Zeta is trying to rotate, because this is one of the first rounds where, yeah, I know, just Buzz. He's been so good this stage, dude. It's absolutely insane. But I feel like on top of the Buzz being insane and Izu being insane, Munchkin now has kind of figured out how to work the map. He's starting to get good reads off of that early cove. He just was patient behind it.
I need him to get more kills for my build diff. But
yeah, same.
Outside of that, no bias here.
I'm trying not to think about my build diff today. I took some massive gambles.
Yeah, it is better to just turn the brain off.
That's generally how I roll.
Well. Can't turn it off. It was never on.
Well, no. Hey.
Peek in it. What? Did he just unscope?
Just bad timing,
I think he might have just panic unscoped.
Yeah.
I think he took his finger off M2. A great shot from XCL. As he was trying to get the flick.
Mm-hmm. Looked like it. Just a little bit of a micro mistake. Just seemingly now unraveling a bit for Zeta.
Unfortunately, I mean, an increasingly rare one for Absol, who's, in the most part, very good. Meteor still playing the lurk. Doesn't matter if he's on the Phoenix. He will be the one split away. Gets the catch and is right back over onto the B side. Izu may be missing a timing here into XCL, but still will have a solid enough line to hold down this position.
Yeah, I mean, all of T1 being a lot more careful with these flanks now. Eco try to challenge, but just great timing from Meteor. So it's at least good for one. Beyond that, nothing he can do.
Now has to try to save this. If he continues pushing, he wraps around this corner quickly, would trigger that. Oh, he's just TP'd into it. Well, he rang the dinner bell, and Munchkin was hungry. I mean, he didn't know.
Yeah, no, it's
that is just an
unlucky.
Unfortunate event.
Yeah. I rarely like to call things lucky or unlucky. In esports, that one a little bit. That one I'll give it.
That's pretty unlucky.
Yeah. That one a little bit. Cruise control so far, but you know, Zeta can get a couple rounds here. Get string 2 in a row. You've got some ults and cycles, so it's T1. But maybe there's a world I can make a go with this on Haven. XDL spotted. Was wary.
Nano cleared.
Come on, jag kan inte se bara komma.
Wall does get set up though.
Bara skita av sina.
Has arrived, but here comes to run it back. Curveball through, blinded up. Meteor will have his ult shut down. Jumps back and quickly T1 make their exit, but Buzz is just playing
Now they might just re-hit. I think they were considering the pullback. We'll have Absol coming in for a pretty quick flank, but the trademark is behind.
Potential for crossfire here, but it's going to be Buzz peeking in first. XCL to take it down. Triggers here from Flat trying to find that kill, but it's going to be Eco to find Munchkin, but nothing else. Buzz, another big 3K round from him. Now, Absol might be able to find something. I mean, Buzz is 12 HP. Bucky will kill him from the football field away.
와, 저 친구한 저거 좀 봐. 아,帅요.这造型很帅。
Being awfully patient.
不过我还是很喜欢2021的那个爆头，2021年了。
There you go. Yep. Get. It's in the corner. Grabs a weapon. And can look to just sprint away. Meteor not going to pursue this one too deeply. Stacks, however, might be able to find the catch, get this weapon out of his hands, but Absol's reading this well, and he will keep himself defended. Lone survivor, but T1 with another round win as they get up to 9.
Yeah, just really clean there. I mean, you can see Zeta had an idea on how to try to counteract, but having the Phoenix ult just means that all that util you throw at that door, the harbor util and everything, all these smokes, means that T1 does have the information where they can just pull back, and they do. And then they get that kill for free, and they're like, oh, actually, you know what? We can do this. And we're going going to. Oh man, that ult just a little late too.
앉아서 가면 되긴 해 이렇게.
I mean, both duelists able to avoid it. Slide around the side. Every player stack. Walk out into the grab, so it's going to be an overdrive pop and a rush play into the A side. It's Hunter's Fury. They just have completely corralled in. They have built the cage and placed Eco
我是
within
不
it.
懂你们有没有听到我的麦克风声音。
It's all a little bit of a ruse, but Absol is still able to find a catch as well. Buzz now going to be stranded on that A site. Slowly creeping his way back. Meanwhile, XDL eventually able to burn the kill onto Munchkin, but nothing more to be found there. However, Absol, he's quickly rotated in, finds Izu. His own overdrive going to be popped. The sun is through, and Meteor's dead. And what a round to be found, because they already knew where Buzz was previously. So you know that he is not here, so he's got to push forward into this site.
有听到就好了。
4K if he wants to clutch it, otherwise it's going to be 3-9 for Zeta.
嗯，
Well,
怎么只打到这一个霓虹了？
Does take damage.
哎，他们到底在打什么？
So
宝典还在
the
点内，
next two have to be clean.
宝枪是不可能宝枪的，因为这是最会唱的。光板这样不想交换的。
Isolated fights. Tuck into the corner.
30 seconds left.
Shota could reposition. He's got the paranoia as well. Buzz, does he read this? He's starting to become suspicious. Swings through and Shota
哎呦
will，
差一点点，
to spare their
可惜
blushes.
可惜。
Get the third round win.
Still, kind of more or less what you expect here from this T1 squad. Great
我
fraggers,
也
even
蛮
if
喜欢
maybe
这个
the
2024的刀，
game plan and
这
strategy
2024的刀，后面的调式会根据你自己所喜欢的调式来改变的
that。it's a fake on A the whole way. Like they're leaning C and playing kind of a concave crunch position.
I'll give him another shot there. I love that trap setup. Just neon run at him, and then we have the Hunter Sphere behind, so he's just kind of boxing. He either has to eat the damage and then hope that he can dodge the next pulses, and then also still outrun a neon, or he has to fight the neon forward.
Oh,
我去拿个牛奶来喝
cheeky
吧
and。it's not fun.
再
If
给
you're
我
Eco.
提起精神来
Having
陪我
fun
聊
on there is
天。
Buzz. 405 ACS. He continues to just be so good on Neon. I mean,
yeah.
This is some of the best we've seen from Buzz, and he's been really good for a long time. Obviously, you know, one of the at a time was the all-time kill leader globally at international events, and
He's been overtaken. You have to suspect that he's going to want that back.
For sure. For sure. It's coming for you, Forsaken.
Some Absol fans here, as I mean, he's just been having such a glow up this stage as well. You know, through all of the hardships that we've been seeing for Zeta Division, Absol has really found his footing in this current meta.
Yeah.
Why do you have a smirk? Did I say something?
No, it's the sign.
Oh.
It's making me giggle a little.
I didn't read it.
It's kind of adorable. It says it's time to zero. Now I can't remember. Zero lose or something. But it's kind of like trying to make an acronym out of Izu's name is difficult, and I respect the effort.
I see. But that's impressive memory loss even for you.
Yep.
New record, ladies and gentlemen. 6 seconds.
6 seconds. I'm doing pretty good. I feel like I could pass some, you know, some tests. I'm ready. Oh,
That's
boy.
1 second for every 10 years of age.
That's right.
Swing down, Izu in around the back. Shota, however, aware of this, notes it, and dispatches him. Meteor, similarly, going to be caught. Now here comes the side, and now Buzz is knifed out! Munchkin will find him, and Eco trades it back. Buzz at backside, has to go for the reload, will fall to XDL, and things have gotten silly. Stax is dead, Zeta get the pistol, 4-9, moving on!
Imagine if he gets that knife, though. Just imagine how great that would be. Straight to the Insta Reels.
Secret play in the next series.
Also appreciate Shota going with the BLG Classic. They're not doing so hot right now, but it's a cool looking classic.
It's a great color.
It is. Oh boy, we're getting silly. That's okay.
I think it's just it could go to his last equipped weapon or whatever. He just swapped over for the ghost. Maybe he doesn't have the setting turned on. I don't know. Either way, he pulls out the knife by accident. It made us giggle. They won the pistol.
There you go.
If you lost after that,
then it'd be
bad. Yeah,
he's had a couple little micro mistakes here today as Absol. Seems to be a little little off his normal game. Let's see if he can pick it back up. Nothing but classics to go against, so you would hope. Trying to isolate, trying to overstack. Sugar Zero
最近大家
not
多
interested
休
in
息，
sticking
然
around
后
any longer.
要多喝水，不然就
Doesn't
会
wanna
像我
fork
一样
over a gun.
会生病。
If you're gonna fork over anything, XDL absolutely the player that you want to drop that over. So
已经
gonna group up, find
没
the
有
open side of the
生
map.
病，已经连续生病
See what
一个星期了
damage
左右
T1
吧，
can do, if any.
是不会
Given how quiet this has been,
一直咳
you
嗽，
have
然
to
后感
suspect
冒、伤
that,
风什么
that
的。
they're going to be on the other side of the map. But, okay, Buzz will get himself a cheeky little upgrade. Ghost now in hand.
我也都
And,
不会
well,
好。
I mean, KJ's out anyway, but had on the recall on that alarm bot, so now attention has to be paid to the flank. So Shota pushing forward, gets himself tucked away into the corner. This could be big if he can turn the curveball. Izu, first contact, turns in. Munchkin just bounding forward, draws the attention, takes a lot of damage, down to 1 HP. Meanwhile, Absol quickly reflanking through, will be able to find the 3 kills. Now just Buzz to try to see if he can find some more damage. So anything from here is going to be putting Zeta into a deficit in the round. They're all fairly disconnected away from the site.
Yeah, at this point, barring some weird ninja defuse, this should just be Buzz dying to the spike.
玩特效音好，有些造型我会很喜欢，有些造型我不太会喜欢。
He's considering the
我
rush
用
forward
了
as
全
well.
买。
Give Absol a nice little 4K. Put him closer to an overdrive very quickly and early
买
in
出来
this
有
half.
精神一点的。
Zeta, the anti-eco carry over the key weaponry.
Yeah, this is pretty okay. Other than this moment, I mean, Shota on and left on an island to watch the flank, so you know, if he's gonna get overwhelmed, so be it. But the follow-up plan is
怪
great.
怎么会被
Throw
人
some
家
sky
吐屁
util
股呀？
there.
他们
Set up Absol to come from their flank. Very well thought up there. Wow, Zeta
小
fans
叶
really
帽
happy
要
about
进
that
来
one.
没有啊？
Off the
要
page,
这
of course,
破条
somebody's
进了
wondering
没
where
有？
Zeta guy is. He's here. He's in South Korea.
He is. Have to say hi.
I mean, I assume that Chober's
真
coast.
不好意思，七早八早你
Oh,
们
yeah,
陪
he
我看
might
这些
maybe.
无聊
So
的东
Manny is
西。
fine with him.
Yeah. Certainly for the Nongshim game, maybe. As Chober has converted him. So TP out. Didn't want to stick around for that fight off
先
the
不会
flash.
好玩
Don't
这样
blame。him. Smoke going to be cycled in front of him from Munchkin.
一直咳嗽还是什
Give
么
him a little bit of breathing room. Clear some space. Zeta may just do that. Nice
Oh,
play.
yeah, slide through, but Absol completely overwhelmed at backside. 3 players waiting for him. Zeta is going to be pumping the brakes on this. They're too far committed, it would seem, onto this site. No easy way to try to disconnect out of this one, so they're going to try to play this one forward. Exchange of kills, but it is a massive outnumbering here of T1 versus Zeta, but XCL likes those odds.
小叶尾了，到时
Finds
再
another,
放
looks
给
at the
我。
read,
讨
just cleans up
厌，
Meteor and gets himself
讨
into
厌
a 1v1.
我看我还是买一
Mike
点
however
新
still on
衣
the
服
floor,
来
needs to
看来
recollect
看
that,
好。
peeks in the garage. Stacks now to scale forward, wait for the plant, swings in, and will be able to clean it up. Great efforts from
是必
XTL,
服。
and that is fantastic damage in their bonus round, but T1 will still hit double digits.
Yeah, this felt like it was just going to be T1 maybe
没事，这上的
just
造
having
型
enough of a
，T1 的
positional
我已经
advantage
买了
here.
2个了，
They were just going to
要等
kind
他
of
24
outshoot their
年
way
的造
through,
型
but。
最
XDL
可恶的是什么？他
absolutely
24
comes
年
to
的
life, stops Buzz
被我
in his
开放了
tracks, and
买，
immediately swings to get Munchkin
这靠北的
out to
臭
his
游戏。
meteor. Time not on his side in the long run. Yeah, like you said, really nice damage there. So
You look up NT in the dictionary.
然后前几天
It's a
我
gift
跟
from
光
that
光
boy.
吵架的时
That's
候
true.，
你知道很夸张吗？你知道我跟他吵架吵什么吗？
Well, things
就
are
是
very
跟他
shaky
吵
for
造型的
T1.
东西，然后他差点有把我的账号封
Something
锁了。
happened with the headhunter.
他就想说很白目，为什么你凭什么有我们有钱给你赚，你让你不要赚我们的钱呢？
anticipating that position really nicely. Are they going to be ready for stacks? Some smokes here earlier. Should be some awareness from Zeta that there
还
could
有
be a
设
push
定
up.
成什么限量版
The
之类
smoke
的。
goes past stacks. Just trying to bait him a little bit, and they're going to double check. Yeah. They do get the confirmation on where that Phantom is, and I think that makes you much more comfortable to try to go to the other side of the map. T1 also understanding and recognizing that.
Oh, Munchkin with a Bucky to try to hold the line and see. Buzz joining him. Here. I mean, why not? Double up with it. 2 Buckies into the smoke. It's one way to try to pull off a ground win, but try to fake this out a little bit. Buzz. Right there with the sensitivity to be able to swing on Absol, so he does collect that kill, but this is all a ruse as the plant gets ready to come through on A.
I got this spot.
Okay. They're, again, maneuvering pretty well here, our Zeta. But you did drop one gun up, and Meteor has his ult. Is he going to be keen to invest it or not? You have so much to worry about here as T1. So little info to work with. Just going to have to make this flood be very clean. Oh, solid gun.
That he did. Do you even want to try to send the runner back into this? My question. No, he doesn't. He'll just end up getting killed there by Sugar Zero. Showed that hell able to hold his own versus Stacks, and Munchkin can't find anything with a Sheriff. So Zeta Division.
我要是有什么啊，还是我能认识的人啊，我是蛮希望我可以邀请到他们陪我来解说这个游戏的，还是这样的。
Even though they lose that one round to Stacks, you know, they're starting to shoot a little bit, find their angles, find their timings.
这咳嗽一样。
Completely just bypass Buzz's aim. Shota, no problems for him holding underneath hell. Pretty good setup, but you're going to have that run it back. You're going to have Izu's op. A lot to consider. Absol and Sugar Zero do have theirs. So definitely potential for some damage. Cove goes up. Izu see over that.
Either way, here comes the reckoning. Paranoia in response from Munchkin. He's going to try to TP passes. Gets himself over on a plat. Spot him to one. Dragged across eventually. Able to find Shota. Now, it's Absol as well. Reign of Terror going to be brought to an end. Eco's able to find the kill, and Meteor loses out on his ult. Gotta spam through the box, so at backside. Sugar Zero does get tagged down to 62. Drone leading the way through. XDL quickly backpedaling, but Stacks able to find him through the wall. Off the ping reveal. Cove forward, more damage taken. Sugar Zero now down to 22 as they try to pop flash through that cove and out into the open. Shock dart's gonna be dumped, and Buzz on the re-swing will be able to find Sugar Zero. The defuse to come through. Hand it over, perhaps the Buzz get the overdrive, and yes, a T1 will get themselves up to 11.
Wow, that's a nifty little maneuver there by Munchkin.
Even then, I think he misplayed it. He still got blinded. He was trying to dodge it.
Yeah, even though he mistimes it, it's still something that they don't expect at all. They expect that he's probably TPing back into alley. So, oh, the ping reveal there from the dart too. Stacks for the quick one. Eco tries to go for the big pop-up play, but the crossfire from T1.
他们到底是这样打进去，打到人了。
But Munchkin just so smooth. Such a smart player.
Oh, Izu is bold, and it is rewarded. Completely unanticipated. Now Munchkin here to fill his space with that judge. Backpedals away. Pop flash exchange for the paranoia. No one can see a damn thing! And they just back off. But it's 2 kills found for T1.
哎呀，刚才那个人怎么害怕就走了？
Just got a little predictable.
为什么他害怕就走了？
Munchkin had a pretty good read on what they were going to try.
两个智者。
Calls for Izu to get aggressive, trusting in that operator, knowing he has a judge behind, and there's another one in the hands of Buzz. So you've got tons of layers and options on the C side of the map. Okay, XDL.
Stacks a little bit of sleep, and fortunately runs into the one player who has a rifle. So getting picked apart, so window back into this one, and one of the ultimates out of the way.
Pretty sharp today.
Right there.
The trademark. Right inside the cove.
30 seconds left.
Flash through, but Izu inches forward, on the line. Spot on the Sugar Zero, has the rendezvous out. Now overdrive going to be popped. Draws down the headhunter, and that is Sammy. XCL able to find Buzz, denies him another, but T1 will take this up to map point.
Hey, Izu just too good. Just too nasty. Again, a really good call off the rip by Munchkin, teeing him up for the first. Oh, he's so fast on that. And then Munchkin expecting that they're going to try to use this cove to scale forward. Just good reactions again. A couple rounds in a row here where Munchkin, an absolute difference maker, uses that paranoia right away. That is disgusting stuff.
非常的认准。
Oh, goodness.
太神了吧！
Time out.
Zeta's going to take their last time out. Gonna need 6 in a row just to get into OT. But so far, a few rounds here and there that have looked pretty good. And outside of that, just getting a little outclassed by T1 here. Kind of expected. T1 hasn't lost a game in this group yet, so do not want to let go of the reins of that first spot. They want to have that ability to just get the win and get into London.
Looking good for it. And that being said, you know, again, this is one of those scorelines that isn't really telling the full story because Zeta Division have had some really good ideas, some really good rounds, where T1 just end up getting, you know, bailed out by some hero plays, etc.
It's been close. I mean, a lot of these rounds have come down to 1v1s. Just more often than not, they've gone T1's way after, you know, someone hits a big 3K and gets them back into it.
Reveal onto one there at Sewers. Shota.
Gotta get out.
Yeah, he's just gonna have to TP out the safety, and Munchkin a little bit too slow on that swing. They try to find the punish. Meanwhile, Izu just sneaks around the corner, and XDL take it down, but now he's gonna be cut off from the rest of the site. Split as the walls go up. Esslin as well to try to lock him off.
Love that he recognizes he has to maintain long control here.
全部在垫这个。
Paranoia there. Slowing him down.
Clear on that drone. Now they're backpedaling to come through. Shota playing forward. Smoke cycled in. Time starting to get away from them here as Buzz got the shorty. He's got the spot out. He's got the damage set up for Shota to go down, but not before he gets traded. And Absol's able to find Meteor. Munchkin now with so much to do. Back around the corner of the overdrive. Eliminated. It's Sugar Zero trying to be the hero. Tap of the defuse, the push into the smoke, finds the first, Stacks, rushing him down. Will come away with the kill as well as the defuse, so 13-6 to T1. They take down Zeta on Zeta's map pick, but this was a much closer affair than the numbers say.
Yeah, just some really good individual decision-making from T1 that were difference makers in some of these rounds. Munchkin TP from the reckoning, the push-up from Izu there with the operator. This round, again, really good decision-making by Izu to maintain that extra flank for T1 so that Zeta has to fight on two different sides of that C site. And it just makes it really hard because you're out of your smoke cycles at that point. You can't kind of cover off both sides and kind of make some decisions, and Munchkin hits a couple bangers. But overall, I mean, Zeta did their homework. I will say that. You can tell that they understood a lot of the game plans and the methodology of what Munchkin wants to do on the map.
Yeah, I mean, would this have been a different result? You know, had they gone for something a little bit more standard, like the Omen Viper even on this map instead of the Harbor? Probably not. But I can see the methodology here with that Harbor in the mix. I think that there were some decent ideas. It's just, you know, a couple times too many where it just ends up falling really shy of the mark because, you know, T1 either just pull a rabbit out of a hat or they just have a very solid idea of how to counteract it. You know, that's one of the things that you're always up against the clock typically when you're playing against Munchkin because if you give him long enough, he's going to figure things out.
Yeah, and another thing that did kind of hurt them is having the cove in there. Yes, it protects you from bullets for a little bit, doesn't protect you from those mollies, and that actually cost them a couple times.
Yeah. Well, that is the first map out of the way. We get ready to go over to the Lotus and see if Zeta can rally this one back. But for now, let's pass things over to the analyst desk.
Yeah, it was quite close. There were a lot of rounds where there were so many good ideas, but unfortunately it's just not enough on the side of Zeta Division. The firepower on T1 is just undeniable.
And this is a classy team. This is a team that are always up there in Pacific, and they showed us exactly why today. Zeta Division coming in with this Harbor, I did like it. You know, it's a little bit of that variation on the Viper that we're seeing. I thought it was nice, but you have to win on those retakes. Look at this for T1. 9 out of 9 post-plant wins. I feel like, you know, we just said it from the casters. Munchkin really had them figured out. They're really using their molly from the Phoenix, especially, to mass effect.
Yeah, I mean, Phoenix is very good playing against the bunker smokes. You also have the curveballs around the double controller utility. You can kind of positionally outplay your opponent on the Phoenix in particular. Swapping back over to the Sova instead of the Sky, maybe not necessarily doing T1 as many favors, but as mentioned, I think they were more so kind of playing maybe around the Cypher that Zeta showed with their last comp. Absol, not bad game for him. I think Buzz continues to be a big standout on the Neon, both of them just primarily playing this agent game in, game out. But I think you got more impact from Buzz than you got from Absol. I think Absol got a fair few anti-eco farms and things like that. And for Zeta, I thought they could have got more rounds, honestly. There was a few 1v1s. I think Stacks won like 2 or 3 1v1s to be able to secure some of those rounds that could have made a bit more of a difference for Zeta. There were some good ideas there, but as mentioned, this should be a retake heavy comp. You're even leaning into the Killjoy. You've got Harbor Sky with the Neon. The Omen definitely better on the retakes than the Astra or something like that might be. So you definitely wanted to, as you mentioned, put together more of those retakes, and seeing the fact that T1 got away with 9 out of 9 post plants, that's not going to be good enough on the defense for Zeta.
Yeah, I think we were all pleasantly surprised with what Zeta had, actually. There were lots of good ideas, as we mentioned, and I didn't hate the Harbor, for example. It was actually quite good. But as we're going to see in some of these clips, we have, there are good ideas on the side of Zeta. It's just that when you're up against T1, and they're shooting everybody, what are you going to do?
I'm going to talk myself out of a job here, but coaching can only do so much. Ideas can only do so much. It's all there on paper until the T1 guys are in your face. You can see this is a very coordinated retake with how they're using that harbor wall, sectioning off the sides, forcing them to fight through, and they're just not able to consistently connect on these shots.
Yeah, but this is why you see T1 winning a lot of these rounds is you look at what Zeta are putting together, and if you broke these rounds down round by round by round, even though T1 hasn't played against this comp before, they're very, very proficient in the mid-round at slowing down. A lot of teams play into a comp like this, they're like, oh my god, what's happening? There's a high tide, they're flashing through it, oh my god, we're all dead. Guys, I'm so tilted, but T1 are so good at slowing down and actually like, okay, they just threw the retake wall in, they're flashing through it, now we're going to curve ball, I'm pushing through here, and it's very calm and methodical the way they approach a lot of these situations.
Yeah, this round is where it gets a bit criminal for me. We're investing 2 ults on that eco round, something we saw them do actually quite a bit this game. I think the ult management needs to work, but you know, this is a comp that has legs. I'd like to see them come back to it, but just not against a team of the caliber of T1.
Legit, there was a few rounds where I think that might have been that round where Sugar Zero was like plat, and he just threw his reckoning. Like, the first time he just threw it, it hit like one person, he insta-died, and they only had pistols anyway. It's like, oh man, like you want to see, especially with the old changes, some of these Harbor ults could just win the rounds outright, but unfortunately that wasn't the best Harbor ult usage we've seen.
No, absolutely not. But you know what was some of the best moments in that map? It was Buzz and Izu, and they had so many good moments here. Buzz, of course, looking like the best Neon red we have here in Pacific, and Izu is just Izu.
Yeah, I mean, this is the 1-2 punch for T1, and I love this. I love that they have such a great chamber player, and they use him on the chamber. This is what I've been begging more teams to do. You can play chamber in this meta, so let's see it, because Izu is showing just how strong it can be.
Yeah, I mean, I think T1, they're not going to reinvent the wheel in terms of changing their comps. Fundamentally, a lot of their comps revolve around the same kind of pairings of agents. They tend to stick to the same philosophy and then tweak a thing or two here, and in this case it was the choice of Initiator and the choice of Controller, but they're not going to change out the Neon or the Chamber. These are 2 very, very strong agents in this meta. They stick to the Phoenix as well, and I think you're going to see that continue, whereas I think some other teams do tend to kind of change a lot sometimes. I mean, Zeta's the perfect example of this, but Buzz and Izu game in, game out, very consistent and very, very high performers. Buzz at the moment, this is one of his better seasons. He's good for a killer round. He's putting up numbers on the Neon, not to mention the fact that, as opposed to some other players, he's playing solo duelists a lot of the time, and he's still putting up crazy numbers.
This is what I love about T1, is they don't try and reinvent the wheel. They don't get crazy. We see them when they're on attack. They do so much of that 4-1. They keep it very simple, and they trust their players in the server to execute, and these 2 are truly delivering right now.
It's because they have some of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, sure,
Let him
Buzz,
go.
go ahead and do your thing. I mean, I trust you fully. And it's exactly what KDG was saying in our previous interview, right? That he has so much firepower, so much star power around his players that they each can make those kind of micro decisions in the game, that they're able to actually play their own game, and to that to a T, right?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need to tell them how to play a lot of these situations. Like, the players just intuitively know how to play around it. It's why you didn't see a lot of those retakes for Zeta be very successful, because I felt like T1 very much understood they're going to try to do this, and on a micro level, this is what we need to do against it.
Yep. We're moving forward to Lotus now.
Yes, that's what you took the words out of my mouth.
Apologies. But I think we have to talk about the fact that Haven was Zeta's pick, and they got cooked pretty much. Now we're moving on to a map where T1 are good. We saw them play this against DFM, and it was also a 13-6, and that was with no pistols, by the way. This is a map they know how to play.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a bit worried with Zeta on Lotus, because they have been running that Waylay again, and I wonder, because Zeta, they're not exactly the kind of team that can absorb all of these changes and apply them in like this span of time, right?
But I think I feel like if they were going to show that Waylay, they would have just used it on Haven. But they're finding a different solution. So I really don't think we're going to see any Waylay from them anymore.
I mean, they're not just changing up their comps, they're changing up their entire roles and philosophies. You saw completely different roles in that last map, so I want to see what they come up with on Lotus. What I'm very worried about is that you see T1 have 9-3 to DFM, I believe it was, on the defense there, and Zeta went 2-10 against DFM's on the attack. So that particular half where you get Zeta attacking into T1, I'm extremely concerned, and I really wouldn't be surprised to see Lotus be a whitewash. If anything, looking at some of those numbers, you'd love to see Zeta, similar to what you saw on the first map, throw everything out the window and start again, maybe keep some of the pieces that work well for them. And once again, we're seeing something similar, except Yuta on the raise is the big change. We're going to throw this man on the Duelist. He's a very mechanically proficient player. Sugar Zero on a comfort role of the Omen. XDL stays on that Sentinel role, and Eco will be once again on Info Enid here.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I like this composition. You know, we've seen similar things across the board. I think Vice is in a nice spot right now for Lotus, but it's the roles. You know, how are these players going to adapt? It feels very different to play a Raze compared to that Omen in the first map. No changes on the side of T1. This is very stock and standard for them. So
it's almost a safe comp.
Yeah.
You see Izu not on the Chamber and on the Killjoy instead with Meteor on Viper. I wouldn't be surprised to see them potentially lean into double Duelist or Chamber in the future, though.
Yeah, no, I'm very interested to see how this plays out. KDG mentioned that Zeta, when they play like there's nothing to lose at all, they can get really, really, really unpredictable. Is this the map where Zeta make that comeback, or will T1 close this out? We're gonna find out and send it to Lotus with Paperthin and Achilles.
Some more changes for Zeta Division. Shota going over onto the Raze. Let's see how this one does end up looking. I mean, he has been one of the more consistent players for Zeta Division, so getting him on a role where he can be proactive, where he can be the entry, I do like this in theory.
Yeah, he can be sharp, man. Like if he's feeling it, him and Absol could be difference makers. Could give this comp some issues. The defender side was, again, going back to their older comp, was where they did a little bit more damage against DFM, but with a slightly different look to it. We'll see how it plays out, but pretty good read. And Absol's already got two.
Now Buzz and Munchkin both get struck down off the rip. And Zeta going to be looking for a second pistol win. And immediately, T1 just having to limp away from that aiming. But look at that timing. Gun barrel not spotted quite just yet. Stacks on the swing, able to get the double tap. Take down XDL. Frozen in place as Thorns do pop, but now full swing out from A main around the back. As Zeta Division thinking that this is going to be a C hit, at least for the moment. Stack's going to have a hard time trying to reconnect with the rest of his team. Swing out, still's going to be good for another, but Shota will put him down. Tap with the door, and Meteor is getting a bit whippy there. Ends up falling to the wayside. As that opening pistol will be claimed by Zeta.
They got loud down there, too. I could hear them through the headset. Trying to rally, trying to see if they can get some energy going. Oh, the haunt reveal gives up the position of just Buzz, but then the follow-up spam also connects onto Munchkin. Izu trying All right. Pretty good start. Good util for Miko, gets the assist, and kind of snowballs the round there for Zeta. Thought about maybe challenging that a little.
Well, second shot. We'll find it. Meteor down. It's going to be the orb funneled over to Stacks halfway to the Nightfall. Meanwhile, so 3 Ban and Izu. Absol sleeping. Big weapon to be recovered. Suddenly, the doubts do start sinking in, especially as Izu's position just now starting to get read by Shota, but it's far too late. Izu with the recovered Phantom takes him down. That breaks open this A side of the map, and suddenly, Zeta Division are going to have to be going for a retake as the plant comes into play.
Oh, not like this, man.
This could be a big kick in the gut.
Oh, one tap to that Outlaw, too.
That's like the new age judge, perhaps, but okay. Clean shots from Miko. Swings the corner, finds the headshot. He's wary about this long lurk from Munchkin, but he was going to miss the timing. Munchkin headshot from behind. Buzz having that Phantom passed over, sliding in. Takes a little while, but eventually he's able to find the kill. And the second shot from Stacks will clean up XDL 1-1. Oh, what a heartbreaking way for Zeta to start off this map.
There's still plenty of fun to be had.
And it's just the most T1 thing ever. Someone finds a lurk here. This time it's Izu. You've got so many players, oh man, through the wall there as well, and then he just keeps scaling. By the time Sota's kind of pieced it together in his brain, it's too late. A couple big kills. That's the thing about this T1 team, is they're always going to be pushing your buttons, trying to figure out where they can find that extra little gap. Got 3 players on this team who are brilliant at it. Meteor, Izu, and Munchkin.
How about a thrifty back from Zeta?
That would be, again, the most T1 thing ever.
For the culture.
For the culture?
Yeah. Let's see it. Oh, spot on the high-low. Buzz is going to be backing away. It will break the setup, though. Worried about a 3-2-1 double face. To get rerouted. And it's going to be all 5 players of Zeta Division deathballing together around B.
That's a good read, though, from T1. Nothing too crazy here. Just going to see if any damage on this backside. There is the alarm bot as well to check for this, so it's not like Izu's going to be completely unprepared. We're going to send one player through the door.
为什么要绕一圈呢？他们
There's that alarm
有没有
bot.
搞错？
So Izu could be, if the timing gets weird, in a little bit of trouble. But never mind.
Well, needs to go for a reload, but Munchkin, okay, we'll just peel back some of the pressure. Meteor as well getting involved. As they will just get massacred through the smoke. Munchkin to pick up a second kill. T1 to find the second round win.
Yeah, pretty simple stuff for T1 there. Nice first kill for Izu. Zeta tries to turn up the heat, but just gets thwarted. You have the quick reactions from Munchkin and Meteor. Oh, nice. Nice catch there from Munchkin and Meteor. Turns, finds one, goes back to his duty of trying to guard the site.
Nice.
Nice. Munchkin's just another day at the office.
Oh, they considered sending out the combo here. Munchkin would have been screwed by that paint shell, but instead just faces forward. Shota now going to be taken down. Buzz blinded up, but eventually still going to be able to fish out a kill. Pushes further, finds Sugar Zero as well. Nico going on a timing, comes up with 2, but Munchkin peels it back, keeps him in with a player advantage. T1 get that 3-1 scoreline. Spike planted, XDL arriving at the baby door. Izu will be the first one to contact. No rewrap, but XDL is completely surrounded for the moment. Does get allowed to push a little bit further forward. Gets himself into the site itself. He can recreate some of that magic, that spark that we saw from him on Haven, that C site perhaps, but Munchkin, yep, jump peek out. XCL none the wiser. You can see him in the periphery, and that is just going to be a 3K, 3 rounds for T1.
Yeah, just a protocol breakdown here at the beginning of the round for Zeta. Nobody clears the haunt. And that's a problem. Because then Munchkin's just off to the races. This is his paranoia that hits Buzz, but they already knew he was tucked into the corner. It's just curtains, even though a heroic effort.
He's awake. He just quick little ass ball snap, back in.
Yeah.
那到底是什么表情啊？
He's off a little bit today again.
I felt like it deserved nothing other than noises.
Yeah.
If Meteor's gonna be whipping like that, words can't really compare. Buzz just looking to chase forward and will be able to find XDLs. Worry about that potential rescale out of Waterfall. Will not be seen. It's out in front of the paint shell. We'll find one more. Shota taken down. Sugar Zero able to find the kill. Will grab up that Vandal, and I mean, you could try to play this one through. Especially if you find at least one more. Cover going out. Time bleeding away. Shots from Izu, not connecting. Swing of the corner. Sugar Zero able to find Munchkin. Max trying to hold here. Swaps the weaponry, but Izu, he swung around the back, and he will be able to find it in the end. But that ends up getting us very, very close.
Yeah, Sugar Zero just able to trade up off of Shota. Taken down and then able to find a nice kill. It's pretty sharp.
一来就撕逼了。
Shota, not bad. Good relay bolt connection on the XDL, but that paint shells comes out and he's so ready, but Zero able to give him a chance. Eco trying, but just another angle to worry about. Let's see, a lot of ults in play this round. Showstopper for Shota, Nightfall for Eco. Lockdown, Nightfall, Overdrive, Munchkin's ult for both of our Omens have their ults.
Players in position for Zeta. Eco just wanting to instill some of that doubt, make them have to look over their shoulders as he clears the turret.
Toxins going up.
Looks to be one of those rounds where Meteor's just gonna kind of try to take a little bit of space, look for some reactions, maybe end up just tucking in.
Keep that interest on this side of the map.
Yep.
Eco taking point, the slide in. Buzz has him dead. Thorn's gonna be activated a little bit too late. Slow them up as Meteor long range to try to find that dink, but eventually just ends up getting double faced, so does end up falling as well. So 1-for-1 exchange. Spike being planted. Lockdown now immediately going to be invested center site as Buzz tries to hold the door. So far is doing it successfully, but then ends up over-aggressing, and with that second player in position, XTL finds the kill and gets it back into a 3v3. Detain, however, on to Shota, slows up his approach. Now they have to push through this smoke. The do with the Showstoppers, they're going to look to try to take the weaponry away, but Stacks able to find the kill before his Phantom is gone. Tap the defuse. Izu poking and prodding. Munchkin still just tucked away at main. Will now re-swing. Absol has him outdone, but the spike has never gotten held to half, and Izu can just clean up the remainders. 5-1. Another very devastatingly close round here for Zeta Division that they just can't quite win. They end up investing a couple ults on top of it.
Oh, that's so slick from Buzz. Little sidestep around the corner into a slide. Good preparation from XDL. That is so fast to trade that. But time was already so low. And you got the ults out.
Timeout.
From T1, I guess, but how many did you end up using there yourself? Well, you didn't use the, okay, you only used the Showstopper. You still have the other.
Steel Garden as well.
Oh, Steel Garden too, you're right.
So, yeah, it ends up being about an equal exchange at the end. But not being able to find the critical round win. Certainly going to be hurting as, oh, that's neat.
Is that Crow? Looks like Crow on the right.
Yeah.
Well, the OG Zeta boys. And we'll see. Is there going to be a Buzz Ace? I don't know.
Plenty of 3Ks.
Yeah.
Mash those together. Like an ace and a half, at
Yeah,
least.
yeah, you get the coveted 6K.
Yeah.
No. We add a sage or a clove in the game.
Well, not quite in the meta, but back in we go. Still 3 ults to try to work with. It's just the From the Shadows available for Munchkins. He's just going to TP across the opposite side outside of Mound.
It's curious. Stacks setting up for the haunt. Wasn't sure if he was going to go for the Prowler first to try to clear a corner or something, but that one way there. There it is.
Prowler cleared. Paranoia through the baseboard and Buzz. Able to collect 1. He's at the same time going to be dead, and Meteor trying to hold the line outside of B main, but ends up losing his life. Absol now in all-in position. He's able to find the first, but cannot transfer over to the second. Buzz unscathed. Finds that kill and keeps him in with a 2v2.
Now Buzz is like, there might be another one in this smoke.
He's not too far off the mark. Shota nearby enough. Tag to 70. No util to speak of. Oh my god, Buzz. What a stage he is having.
Last player standing.
XDL though. Able to find the one. Buzz just peeking. Sending out the relay bolt. Does get the connection. Doesn't go for the peek.
I'm out of here.
He's down and ooh, plays himself right into XDL's arms. It was looking like the clutch was going to be had, but it's going to be XDL coming away with one of his own. So Red Bull clutch for Zeta to get their second round win.
Yeah. Just, I think Buzz maybe anticipating that it was going to be a slower approach there from XDL, but XDL just kind of kept slowly shifting forward. Beautiful setup there. Off the response of the Prowler, the Paranoia gets them a freebie. Meteor only able to find the one. At a moment, Absol playing for some big damage. Gets one himself, and just a little bit unexpected. XDL gets a much-needed win for Zeta.
Certainly still not the fashion which Zeta wants to be winning these rounds, but round win is a round win.
Look at how quick this is. Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, all that set up on the C site. Broken down now. Munchkin just quick TP through the gap at the door. Indiana Jones style. Nightfall going to be infested ahead of the plant. Should connect on to 1. Izu, however, going to be overwhelmed. Shota able to find him. Munchkin. Decade down low. Meteor trying to find some value here from Mount, but loses his life again. Just not quite connecting with his shots. Fair advantage for Brinkle. One was there in the hands of Zeta, but now equalize. Munchkin trying to TP up, but Absol will deny him. And now they're going to try to pivot this one, but Absol, he's got the overdrive. Relay bolts exchange. Both players, they're all just locked in, but Stacks fights his way out to the nail. Now the counter TP over to drop. Where does T1 go? No, it's a cancel. Doesn't want to isolate himself. And in the end, this could end up being a very good decision. So they're going to try to repivot back into B, assuming that Sugar Zero stuck it over on the A side of the map. So both players in position to try to put a punish, but Shota ends up firing out early.
Look at, they have a ton of question marks right now.
Nightfall to be avoided, but there's really only one place he could have gone. Max about to swing into it, but can't get the reset. Paint Shell now available as well as Buzz. Finding the one, sliding in and gets the second. Back to back, but this time in the hands of T1. It's another Red Bull clutch.
This time he's good for it. A nice attempt here, though. Just some awkward firing. I mean, when you open the door here, Izu's in no man's land. XDL, speaking of being in no man's land as well, you know, they pop his wall quick, and he's just tucked so far over towards that mound. Not much he can do, but then Izu stuck out in the open. Meteor is just looking really off right now. Fortunately, Buzz still turned on. Him and Stacks combined for all 5 kills.
Well, I think Buzz might need to seize there. Either way, this is just chaotic. It's fighting on 2 fronts. Suddenly a 3v3, but no weapons going to be recovered here by Zeta Division. But they're getting themselves into the right position as Munchkin TP's up, top of rope, swings in, and has them all aligned. A massive 3K here for the IGL, and it's 7-2 now on the scoreline with T1 well out in front.
What confidence from Munchkin there. They get a couple kills here and there, and he's like, I'm sending it.
It's a thin line.
It is.
Confidence and stupidity.
Yeah, madness and genius. This is genius.
这只是上半
Yeah,
场
he just goes, and he TP's up, and look at him. He's just like, yeah.
I do this all the time.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. That didn't feel that impressive to me. It looks impressive as hell from our point of view. Because he has no idea what's going on in that A side. He just knows it's open somehow.
Hard to say how many numbers Izu had spotted, but
That's
now
true.
Sugar Zero is just going to be completely screwed. Stacks, however, will be on the trade. Absol finding one. Buzz dancing around the overdrive at the ready. Tries to pull back away from the relay bolt as it is just madness. The walls will fall, the suns will expire, and Munchkin will still conquer. Absol dead. Eco going to be counter spammed. Showstoppers being invested into the round. They will be able to find one.
Cover going out.
Buzz diving straight into that one.
Don't get into my world.
Don't get into my
Don't
world?
get into my world. Love when we have the crossover.
I do. I know.
这一分他们不想给，
I was like, that ain't
抱歉了。
right. But it is so bright now.
And it is a save. Nothing more to be done with that pit. You had, kill Buzz without the showstopper. Probably feel a little bit more confident to try to go forward into that one, but this is just going to be T1 continuing to stretch this lead 8-2. Still potential for another 9-3 half with Zeta. Curious if they end up feeling the need to try to send out the second timeout. They want to just table it for now.
I mean, it's just another great piece of decision making, though, by Buzz. He's so selfless in his play. He knows that to avoid this kind of running out of control, he just needs to go throw himself at that showstopper.
Oh, he ate it.
And it basically secures him around on top of the pit. I really like that.
Meteor holding close. Absol trying to push forward. Has that judge.
Toxin screen down.
Push, and Meteor not quite prepared for it. Had the right idea, had the understanding, but he didn't have the shot. Meanwhile, Paranoia through and Munchkin to pick up the pieces here on the B site. Jesus joins in alongside him. So clears the turret, has to make them think about what the angles of approach are going to be for Zeta Division.
Gonna get the lockdown out of him. Not get the chance to put it down.
They're reading this well. An absolute fight. Ooh. And here does. Headshot not there. The relay bolt as well, not pushing as far forward as he would have liked, and he ends up taking a fairly straight angle forward towards Izu on the slide. CL just trying to assess what the best approach is going to be. He's going to try to challenge Munchkin an upper, but he's got the shorty. T1 have a 9th round win.
Last round before
they're
the
just
switch.
in a rough spot here economically. Our Zeta, this win, like those two bullets just whizzed right by both ears of Absol. Again, Meteor just off. Still getting some big kills, just not quite enough. Tries to slide past, but Izu too sharp. Yeah, now you still have that lockdown here. And it stacks one away from another Nightfall. He's had a fantastic half. A lot of damage.
TP to Rubble, but Munchkin, TP into the drop on A side for the rest of his team. Can they stay alive? Izu's able to find one. Meteor shutting down Sugar Zero on the approach. The re-swing in. And Meteor maybe starting to find his footing.
Switch to the Phantom. Maybe that was what the doctor ordered.
Well, might just be able to bring this round to its end. He's watching A lobby, XTL pushing out into the open. What step's going to be made, and Meteor will collect that 3K. So T1 setting themselves up with a 10-2 half on bonus.
Yeah, I mean, just pretty brutal here for Zeta. Few rounds got close. They're able to get the one clutch in there. They won a pistol, but then it went pretty out of control after that.
It just feels like it should have been so much more, but dropping the anti-eco. Just created this massive snowball that T1 have not really let go of. Just keep pelting them with them.
Yeah. They're just like a bully on the playground, man. Just not letting up. And why would you
turn on the swing?
That's right.
Billy, you've been on the swings for 3 hours straight. Please let Absol play.
I would have thrown up by then.
There he is.
There's our boy. Zeta guy has made it. Although I'm not sure he's having the best time right now.
Yeah. Buzz is, though. Buzz is still having a whale of a time.
He's been insane today. As usual, this stage. What was your favorite, like, playground equipment when you were a kid?
Oh, probably the swings.
Oh, the swings.
Yeah, we had, like, I don't know how it passed any kind of regulations, but they were huge.
Yeah,
and I proved to myself that I wasn't just, like, having the thought as, like, now an adult and thinking back on the memories, like, oh, the swings are so massive because I was just a small child.
Yeah.
I went back to, because the elementary school was, like, right down the street from my dad's house. So when I was back in Jersey, I drove past and I was like, oh, no, those swings actually were massive.
Nice.
And we used to go all the way to the top when we were parallel with the bar and then jump off.
Yeah, and do, like, backflips and shit.
Not that, but nice. But, not like that, but we would do, like, wrestling moves and it's like...
Wrestling?
Oh, yeah, we would, like, body slam each other.
That's actually pretty intense. We never got that far. We just try to do weird stuff. Flips.
I don't think I'd be here if we tried flips.
Well, you were just not as adventurous as I was as a kid.
Maybe just not as stupid, but
You know.
it explains a lot.
Yeah,
actually.
I landed on my head a few times. I'm not going to lie.
Well, Stax has landed a shot on Eco's head. Long range with that Sheriff. Very clean.
Yeah, they're still going to leave Shota here. Consideration to maybe look for that lurk that they know T1 is going to want to find somewhere on the map to try to exploit, but now they're actually just holding it close to the vest, expecting a re-hit onto C. It's just a pivot.
Footsteps going to be heard here.
And Meteor's
trying to make a go of this. Rushing their way through the door. Set up on the rose. No contact found, but all an attempt at a fake here as Shota has just silently been sat at mound. But look at the call from T1.
This is a problem when you have a Neon on the other side. Gives you a lot of flexibility on the map.
Yeah, just creep towards A. Nothing heard for 3 seconds. Now the time starting to run low. 10 remaining. Should be able to get this spike planted. There's no paint shell to really offset it, but Izu's still trying to interrupt with that classic spam, but now a bit of an overscale. Absol managing to catch Munchkin. Swing out, Stacks good for a second, but show the XDL one apiece, looking for a little bit more. As Meteor falls on his shoulder. 48 health. Just the classic to try to work with, and some noise is going to be made. Meteor not checking up. He will fall. Shota able to find it, and that's going to be somehow 3-1 in pistols for Zeta. Dominating in that regard, but it's only the third round win found on Lotus.
Yeah, it's been kind of an odd stage at times in Pacific with the pistols. Well, more often than you would expect, teams have won both pistols on a map and then lost the map. But this is just kind of, like you said, an overstep from T1. They tried to deny the plant, tried to use that time, couldn't connect. Just the classics up close. That kind of cost them. Got a little bit out of position, it felt like, for the retake. Haunt here, just to scale forward. And only 3 players going to continue this push forward. Meteor did take a Sheriff, so still going to trust he can find some value if you invest a little bit into him, despite some of the shakiness. Ball triggered, and Izu pays the price.
There he does. Sugar Zero will quickly claim that one. Meanwhile, Buzz does get planted forward, but he's just got the classic, no shorty in hand, so we'll look to back away and instead trade places with Munchkin. Try to play him in. Oh my god. Oh my god, Munchkin, okay. It's only going to be the one, but that is criminal that he's even able to get away with that.
That Prowler.
Well, that one did its job.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Shota and Eco very much doing their own. Buzz and Meteor both going to be struck down.
哎
Just Stacks
怎么玩到
his
10比
way
4
all the
了
way？ through the attacker's spawn. They're aware of this, as Shota going to be the one to watch the angle, swing in, and Stacks will quickly fall.
Okay. Gotta feel a little bit better now, as Zeta, you're not giving over the eco to T1 this time. Being very diligent despite the Prowler not being so kind to you. Good reactions off that wall. Just a little bit of a feels bad man for Absol. Not Eco's fault. Meant to check it, just for some reason the Prowler decided it had other things to do.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but something about the Prowler. They were talking about it.
A little bit of a util exchange here today. Still, lone player split from the pack. 1-4. Lisa once again just trying to see if they can get a rise out of T1 on the side of the map. And similar things here. The tap of the door, stack towards A, and now the lead back in towards C, called by T1.
That's such a far forward alarm bot. That's got to be causing some confusion in the Zeta camp, I have to assume.
So Izu spotted out. Meanwhile, okay, yeah, they found him. He re-swings back into the angle. XDL able to find the kill. Munchkin now, not quite the lone defender, will be joined by Meteor, and he's continuing to try to push Greed for this, but Shota holds his own. Change up on the plant position, so Snakebite maybe bank it off the pillar, but Absol now holding forward. Massacres two. Meteor now last one standing in 1v4, and he has to back away. Zeta Division roaring to life here in round 15 as they will convert their bonus.
All right.
好像一直越打越输啊，他们
Winning some big battles. Taking Izu down.
好像有点问题。
And then
希望
Munchkin
有点问题
breathes.
的。
Kind of all falls apart from there, and Absol sharp those shots, and no trade to be found. Just a week. Oh,
that timing.
Is he gonna recheck?
Seems like no. Then again,
Sota's
won't be able to get the catch either way.
Yeah.
So Shota would love to, honestly, just get the kill or die. Doesn't really matter too much. Meteor's still a world away from the pit, and that would put Shota one off from that showstopper. Either way, Meteor will survive, and I have to be curious if Coach KDG is going to be calling this timeout or if he's just ride for a little bit longer.
Yeah. You know, depends on the coach if they want to take the timeout now or after the next one. Some coaches would rather talk to you about an eco, have a called strat, and then set up for the follow-up. But this is now starting to get a little bit concerning for T1. 5 rounds to go for Zeta to tie it up. Buzz.
Oh, revealed.
Yep.
He's just trying to play alone, so there's no one there to break a haunt for him. Just ends up getting caught, and whatever T1 had in their minds here for this round, very quickly gets taken away from them.
It's good to see Zeta being pretty diligent on the map right now. Not overcommitting to anything, looking for any other info that they can gather. Oh my god, Meteor.
I was able to find two, but that is the weapon down.
Recoverable, though.
Potentially, with the smoke there. Could try to go for it. Looks like Munchkin's going to leave that for somebody else to find, and Stacks will be the one to collect it. Meanwhile, Prowler forward, B site opened up, smoke towards upper. And Zeta now feeling comfortable to go for the plan.
Spike planted.
Check here. Stacks does have the haunt in the C's. Sugar Zero has a paranoia.
It's going to be able to grab those guns, the ones that Meteor put down on the floor. So a little bit of additional weaponry going to be grabbed. Sugar Zero marked by the haunt. Paranoia through, but he just pushes forward. He's able to find Stacks. Now looking for a little bit more. Gets a reason on a Munchkin. Suddenly it's just Izu, a 1v2. Tagged down to 60. Well, Eco going around the world, but it won't even come down to that. XD will just pop the flash, swing the corner, get the kill, and suddenly Zeta.
我觉得他们需要照暂
round
停。
wins. 4 in a row in this half. T1 back into a bye.
Yeah, great individual decision making by Sugar Zero there. Knowing that he can step up into that paranoia, and it's a bit of a gamble for T1. Meteor, my God. Just a little micro transfer there. But this is a great decision. Sugar Zero is bailing him out a little bit there. But that's okay, the post plant setup looked pretty solid too, so. All right, Buzz has that up. This is where things get a little bit interesting.
Meteor clearing the util, Munchkin dying. Meteor now looking to join him perhaps as he falls down to 10 HP.
They're a step ahead.
He's gonna slow walk over towards Waterfall. Meanwhile, Nade considered send Izu. The one at risk as it lands just alongside him. It's a bit of that damage, dodges the C's. Gonna be util out, but nothing more found here for Zeta quite yet. Meanwhile, XDL walks his way forward, calls for the pivot. It's going to be a B site plant once again.
Look at Shota.
Face your fear! Engineer killed.
Beautiful.
Izu gone. There's 3 players now remaining, an operator in hand, and Meteor decayed down to 1 from 10. So you just have to save. Zeta Division are bringing this one back.
Yes. And this is pretty clean, too. Just got to keep that extra gun, hopefully. No idea where they are. Zeta so far hasn't been too aggressive. Trying to collect these guns. If I was going to fault them for anything in this round, it would be that.
Yeah, I mean, you got so much money at this point.
Yep.
So Absol will, he sends at least check around A, but it's not a massive hunt like we should be seeing from Zeta Division, but hard to fault them at the moment. 5 rounds now consecutively, and there is the paused timer.
Yeah, for sure. They just are getting those opening couple kills, opening up the rounds. Guessing, well, where the stack of T1 will be early. And this is, you know, something that didn't work for them too well against DFM. I mean, it kind of did, but is sort of that 1-4 style where they're just sort of ping-ponging a couple times and not giving you too much to consider. T1's trying to send kind of their normal sort of spread default formations out. And they've been running into some stacks and losing players early, and it's just kind of snowballing these rounds out of control. So maybe trying to be a little bit safer, or maybe just trying to go for some big, you know, A-rubble fights of your own off the rip. Couple options could be considered. Just depends on what you're seeing as KDG.
Let's see if this is going to be the adjustments to break this win streak, or if Zeta gonna look to just pull off a massive comeback. I mean, it's already been a huge streak, and they've also been managing the ult economy very well. It's just the Nightfall invested in the previous round to go ahead and seal the deal on it. You still have an overdrive, just in case, you know, you start getting into a chaotic situation. You have that showstopper to shut down a retake, or just find the entry. They have plenty of tools to continue to run this back.
Yeah, you already see some of the protocols here. You're gonna clear that killjoy util.
Here up the back way, Showstopper not gonna be able to find the kill, but Izu holds the door and Sugar Zero, where did he go? Izu just finds a stray on that entry to clean up 3.
Oh man.
Not
Not like this.
That is one hell of a way to break a run back. That shot right there. It's the worst possible place you could have been if you're Sugar Zero.
So how did Meteor dodge that showstopper and not die?
I think he just swung back around the pillar.
Around the pillar. It looked like it had him. Ah. Yeah, just a little bit of minor change in protocols for T1. Just play a little bit safer. It already pays dividends. Munchkin's got a judge there right out at the front of B. Rotating the op. Try to give Stacks a little bit of help. Meteor on his way too. So, understanding the negative space they've given up.
There.
Top rubble. Buzz continues to swing out. Sugar Zero can hit dead. Absol's just gonna walk into the angle, and Buzz on the jump peak is able to save plenty, but XTL able to find Munchkin, falls to 14. Stops him from getting increased value off that judge.
Still just... Oh, Stacks. Great little reposition.
And up, Nightfall catch these two players from behind. They are split. Gale forward from Izu, going to be noted by this Vice wall. We'll just jump peek it now from Meteor. We'll just go ahead and take the Vice out of the equation. Eco and Shota to try to stop T1 from getting up to match point. Now, just the range.
除非他可以一打上。
Paint shell sent. Lockdown still available for T1. Shota looking for timing, but he's going to be the one hitting timing. The Izu rechecks, finds it. T1. They get themselves to 12.
Yeah, no more room for error now for Zeta. Just a good map read here. Again, willingly giving up space to tee up that operator initially. Normally you see that Judge get the kill there in that spot, but because he was standing up a little bit, bullet spread. One missed. Still, did tons of damage. Meteor able to find it. Finds a second. Zeta trying to push some space and instead couldn't get the job done and going to have to take their time out, potentially. Their final one here of the series. But, I mean, hell of a little comeback here that they were able to string together at the beginning of this half. Definitely some improvements on their attacker side versus, again, what we saw versus DFM. But, you know, just playing together as a team often, trying to use that to their advantage. And T1 starting to find the reads and find the answers to that with a little bit of help from some coach intervention. And just giving them a little bit extra space and finding those moments where they can get those one and dones, or in Izu's case, just put up a huge multi-kill. Away we go. See if Zeta can keep this one going a little bit longer, or a lot of bit longer if we can get to another map. Split is a decider. And there's a saying about split, I've heard. Don't know what it is. Ooh. Reveal there.
It was somewhat disproven the other day.
Yeah. There's been a few blowouts on Split recently.
Usually if it's the final map.
Yeah.
Well, Easy wants us to be the final round.
Meteor thought he would snake bite, but he's being patient with it.
Hit it as well.
Yeah, he's got the nanos.
Some spray to Sugar Zero off that Prowler. Able to find him. Munchkin noted. Sugar Zero, 2 massive kills found. Izu, again, to be able to find some value with that operator. Meanwhile, Stack scaling out of Waterfall. Nico isolated. Shota. Gonna be noted. I think, yeah, Alarmbot out of range, but still will be hurt as the door gets tapped. Buzz just swinging around the back, though. Finds the perfect timing, and now it is just Eco. Assaulted on all fronts as Buzz locks him in, forcing him to potentially be detained, but Buzz will just take him down. 13-7, a good effort from Zeta Vision. A solid string of rounds to make this map competitive, but in the end, T1 are a cut above.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of what you expected coming into today in a lot of ways. The individual prowess of this T1 team on display quite often throughout both maps. But really, I mean, Zeta, I gotta give them credit. I felt like their macro game was probably in 80% of the rounds. I felt kind of on point-ish, at least well enough that they give themselves chances. But some of the micro, just not there. And in the long run, that depth of T1, especially at the end of Lotus, some really good adjustments after a timeout finally had to be used. And they were right back into it.
Got solid stuff overall here for T1. Still some, moments where it's just like, okay, taking a while to find the adjustments to get the read, to see that coach intervention, but when it did come through, I don't know, the Izu go kill, whatever the strategy indicated she called, it worked a treat. It got them a flawless, and it got them to the end of this map and series. So, a 2-0 victory for T1 as they continue to just look, damn near perfect as far as the map records are concerned.
Yep. Yep. They're looking really good. Looking like they're a potential shoe-in for London. Who knows? But they want to do better than they did at Santiago.
Oh, no, absolutely. They know that is a chip on their shoulder that they want to correct. They have to make it to London to make